Today's episode is brought to you by JerkSwag.
When you're stuck in a rut, it's a comfort to know that help is on the way. So whether it's a simple malfunction or you're deep in a soggy trench, rest assured that the boys at Camel Towing will take care of you. Lickety split. Our dynamic trio of sports enthusiasts and longtime friends bring you the latest sports news, heated debates, and offbeat stories from the wide world of sports. Whether you're a diehard fan or just enjoy a good laugh, we've got you covered. Are your balls out?
Suck it, jabroni.
Hey, are you ready? Are you done fucking around?
Hey. Yo.
I do not have peanut butter on my list here.
Oh, my goodness. That's ridiculous.
You're listening to the Balls Out Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Ala, Crispy, and Jonas Mount.
Welcome into the Balls Out Sports Podcast. I was just going ahead since you were eating.
Oh, my bad.
Ala to my left eating his Frankie beans.
His beanie weenies, dog. His homemade beanie weenies, too. We got chopped them all up.
We got Crispy joining us in Greenville, South Carolina. Crispy, what's up?
What's up, family?
Yeah, so,
Yes.
you know, I just,
Thanks.
Yeah, you nailed that one,
He's
by the
got,
way. Good job.
Well, he's feeding himself, so he ain't gonna respond.
He's
Feeding himself. That's crazy.
Yes.
He just wants somebody over there to feed him.
Oh, there's a thumbs up.
There's a thumbs up. I didn't move.
I don't even know what to do with my hands
I
right
don't know
now.
what to do. The gesture. See, I didn't. Now I'm doing it, and the gesture isn't working. What's wrong here, man? What's going on? Production.
Christian fucked it up.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
You get paid enough to eat that
Hold on.
Chipotle over there.
Hold on, I'm gonna send him some money real quick.
Don't send him nothing. Mr. Chipotle.
I'm gonna.
That Chipotle bowl is at least $17.
Yeah,
And you
Chipotle
got
expensive.
double meat. Pause.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him. I'm gonna send him a text as well, but it's not gonna be any money in that text.
He said he got double meat. Yeah,
I heard
Chipotle
that.
ain't got no
I heard
fridges.
it. I
That's why
chose
it's
to
so
ignore it.
expensive.
Huh? What'd you say?
Chipotle ain't got no fridge. That's why it's expensive.
What is it supposed to be? Fresh, never frozen? Ain't that Wendy's?
Yep.
I've been. You know.
Well,
what?
that's what their commercials are telling us right now. The ladies, we don't have refrigerators. That's we got to pay for that.
Ain't never got no staff in there either.
I'll tell you
Hey,
what.
Chipotle's better than Moe's.
This just reminds me. This conversation reminds me of what, man? Why?
That's blasphemy. He said Chipotle
All right.
better than most.
That's not true. I just, but see, this is where I do the thing. This is why I do the things that I do while I'm doing this show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because he did it. I didn't do it.
I know, but I just gloss right over, man.
My bad.
Just
It's the beans.
I know.
It's getting to me.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
I know.
I
But
don't
he
know
said
that one.
Chipotle is better than most, and I was like, yeah, okay, no, I don't want to get into that debate because.
All right. Poll question of the day: what's better, Moe's or Chipotle?
Why does Chipotle even have queso? They queso tastes like water.
Hey, why does Moe's have guacamole? Their guacamole's trash.
I never had.
Moe's-
I didn't know they had
Moe's
guacamole.
queso is 100% better,
Right.
but Chipotle's guacamole is 100%.
He's
better.
trying to get
You
that
trying to
gesture.
get the gesture on
He's trying
there.
to get
I
the
see that.
gesture.
I'm pretty sure I turned mine off per my production person.
Nope.
For those of you that are
Wrong.
listening, Crispy just has his thumb up in front of his face, hoping he's going to get a gesture. And
Wrong.
it's just
Hey,
not
this might be better for YouTube. Just having
You got
not having a look at this grill.
You got a Miami Heat shirt on?
Yeah, let's go.
That's disgusting.
Oh my
What's
goodness!
I mean, hey, they retire Udonis Haslam jersey, so
Hey, you know what? Guy was a
Hey,
staple for them for a long time.
77 years.
Yeah,
Only played 13
Also,
minutes
my
the past
guy,
5 years.
my guy got a little monument going out in front of our stadium here very soon.
Oh my gosh.
D Wade, let's go.
Listen, I appreciate Dwayne Wade.
I love me some Dwayne Wade.
I'm not gonna. He's a little zesty. That's a different story.
That's okay.
But
He should have
I
been
know
on our top dressed.
no,
for
he
sure.
should not have.
Oh yeah, he's very stylish. Same with Cam Newton.
I know.
Here we go. No, let's not bring this
He
up
likes
again.
the eccentric
I
dressing.
just don't like this. I don't like this conversation at all. Yeah, what was I gonna say? And I just lost track.
Somebody said.
Thanks a lot, Allah.
No, that was you. Somebody I know said that Dwayne Wade is like the top 3 shooting guard of all time, and that's bull.
Yep.
He's not you. Somebody else I know.
Well, he thinks that too. Though.
That's terrible. He's not.
All right. Who are the other? Where is he?
Not even top 5.
So who are the 5 in front of him?
It's definitely Jordan and Kobe. That's
Right.
2 right there.
Right.
AI
Yep.
technically
And
to me is a shooting guard. To me, right?
Fair enough. Okay.
That's another one ahead of him. Was Gervin a point? Technically he was like a 2 too.
2-2.
George Gervin. I don't know. I get another one in there somewhere. I gotta keep thinking though. I could put him. I probably could get another one in there.
I probably got him. I've got him top 5. I think he's top 5.
Yeah,
I think he's top 5.
definitely not top 3.
I mean, it just depends. Crispy's looking something up right now. I know he's doing it. He's looking something up, and he's going to see what the pundits say.
Oh, okay. So the first one
where
I
do they
pulled
have
up,
him?
I just Googled top shooting guards all time. The first one that hits, it's from Hoops Hype. Number 1, Jordan. Number 2, Bryant. Number 3, D Wade. Number 4, AI. Oh,
Who's number 5?
James Harden.
That's disgusting.
Hey, Allah, good call out. They got George Irvin at 6, Clyde Drexler at 7, Reggie Miller at 8, Ray
Reggie,
Allen
yeah,
9,
Ray Allen, and we
Vinsanity at 10.
I'm not.
I mean,
listen. I'm gonna be true.
It's not a bad list.
Vince Carter will crack my top 5.
That's not a bad, but regardless of where you put them, I mean that
It's
top
not bad.
10 that's a good list.
That's not bad.
That's a good list, except for Harden.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
put
we're gonna
Harden.
probably start
I might be able to
digesting
put.
that.
I mean, if we go on offensive stat, I mean, I know we wasn't talking basketball, but if we go offensive,
We will be.
it might be Harden over Reggie Miller.
All right, I just pulled up my second one. Clutch points.
Am I right?
1, Jordan. 2, Kobe. 3, D Wade.
Yeah, I mean, he's always in the discussion. Top 5. I mean, he's
For sure top 5.
and often getting
He's
often
3.
getting number 3. Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, ESPN mixed it up a little bit. They put Jerry West at 3 and then D Wade at
You're right.
4.
They didn't put him at point guard. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Jerry West will be up there
Well,
too.
The
Then.
logo.
Yep.
They need
Interesting.
to redo the logo.
Yeah. Who put Jordan up there? Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It should be Jordan's turn.
What will
Hold
the
on.
logo look like? Oh, wait, we were getting way off topic, but
They
it's
gotta
not
have
going to
a-
be his logo.
They
You
gotta
can't
have
do
a
that.
no. They gotta have a tongue.
It's got to
out, though.
be.
You
Yeah,
gotta
got to have
have
the
the
tongue out, spitting at somebody. Michael Jordan 1, Kobe Bryant 2, D Wade. Bleacher Report has Wade at 3, so it's a consensus.
I don't even know what's
Wade
going on.
Oh, that's gonna be
That.
clipped up right there.
What, the tongue?
No, it was.
I'll go back and look at it.
No, please don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
it
maybe
was-
I don't.
it was
Maybe I
already
won't.
there.
Okay.
No, that's gonna be clipped up.
Okay. Cool.
Perfect.
God damn it! Why I do
Perfect.
that?
I don't know. It's just
D
'cause
Wade.
it's what
D
you
Wade's
do.
number 3 all time.
Do you know? All right.
Got it.
D Wade number 3 all time.
Man, they can't talk. They retired Jordan's number out there in the Heat land, so I don't want to talk about that.
Well, we are going to talk a
Hey.
little bit more basketball later on in the show. We are going to talk about some trades. One trade went down in particular for your Miami Heat. We'll talk about that. Must be why you're wearing the shirt.
No, it's because it's cold down here in my
Oh,
studio.
okay. Gotcha.
Brr.
So we are actually going to kick off the show with news out of the WWE.
Big facts.
Like this news, when this came across, I did a double take and I was like, wait, what?
Crispy got off camera. Look.
Oh, did he leave? Oh, okay. All right. Well, Crispy's not going to be here for this one, apparently.
Hold on, I got to go get prepared. I got to take my shirt off and get my belt. I'll be right back.
Oh,
Did he say take his shirt off and then get his
definitely
belt?
said that. Listen,
Hold up. So is he going to be shirtless with a
this
belt
show,
on?
this show is off the rails already. First of all, they got people doing mic gestures.
Oh, he's got. Yeah,
with
you're not
the
going to have
tongue
that for
out.
much longer. Not going to have that for
I
too much
know.
longer.
I know. I lost the belt this year, but I got my wrestling belt. Kind of. Just ignore the fantasy football part. But I got my belt.
I'll show you that belt in person.
Not a wrestling belt.
But it is a good belt. It's a cool concept. When I first saw
It's
that,
nice
I
to
was
have
like,
for a
I
little
gotta
while.
get this because it's out of the norm of just a typical trophy. And when they came up with that belt, I was
Yeah, I
like,
could
we
have
gotta do
came
something
with like
different.
the big gold. You see, look, big gold right here.
I mean, that's kind
Could
of
have got like the WWE type. Oh, shit.
I saw that at Target the other day. It was like $35 and it was plastic.
And this is not plastic though. You hear
Okay.
that?
Listen,
good.
in all seriousness, so I'll let you see the one that I have, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Pause.
Messi, is our belt better than his?
What's that?
Is our belt better than that belt?
No.
I'm gonna
I
wait
just knocked something
until I
off.
put both of them together. I'm gonna put
Okay.
both of them together. We'll do that on this show, and we're gonna see what it looks like.
Okay.
I do want to get his opinion. Now, his opinion is obviously going to be that that belt is better than the belt that we have, but I do want him to see this belt. I want you to feel the weight of the belt. It's legit. It's nice. They did a really good job with it.
Okay.
They did a really good job with it.
Hey, have we gotten the other trophy in yet?
No, but it is on the way, which means I won't be able to get it to him in time. But I will probably.
Well, depending on when we meet up for this, maybe we
Fair.
plan accordingly. That way we can just swap and I can bring the other one up here.
Yeah, although I would really like to be present for the presentation of
So
said
he
trophy.
gets a loser belt.
Somebody's getting a loser trophy.
Not me.
In the group.
Oh, you.
No, not me.
Oh.
I didn't end up losing.
Surprisingly
Yeah,
enough.
and the weird thing about this is, and he can attest to it, is that I got once I was already out of the mix and got into the consolation bracket for the playoffs.
You gave up.
No, my team went off. Like I annihilated.
And mine, it's like we switched teams.
Yeah. He just
His team did great and my team did shit.
yeah, it was wild. So anyway, WWE. Speaking of belts, let's get onto this conversation. Inks a deal with Netflix for Raw starting in 2025. WWE has landed a $5 billion media rights deal with Netflix for its weekly Raw series and a 10-year pact set to begin in the U.S. in January of 2025. It marks what is Netflix, arguably, like their biggest move yet into live entertainment, giving the streaming platform with 247 million global memberships rights to a property that had been on linear TV for 31 years. So I do have to ask this question because a lot of the comments that I saw after this was over, and Ala, I'm going to go to you on this, is there were a lot of folks that were saying, hey, I don't know how I feel about this, that it's going to Netflix instead of being on linear TV like we're accustomed to. But, I mean, this was a foregone conclusion, number one, anyway. Like, as far as, like, Netflix and other, like, entities like the streaming services getting more and more involved in things of this nature. And Netflix can afford it. Everybody has Netflix, for crying out loud. Like, this is not, like, for people that are saying, I can't believe it's not going to be on linear TV, I have Hulu as well. I watch all of my regular TV through Hulu and live, right? So having a streaming service is not uncommon. And do you think that anybody who watches wrestling right now isn't going to have Netflix for the simple fact that they want to be able to watch this come 2025?
No, I think I seen something where it said Netflix has 297 million subscribers or something like that.
247 million global.
247.
Yep.
So if you got 247,
Close.
right? And I think their ratings they were pulling on on USA and everything was like what 50 million, something like that. Just say, but cable's dying, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So they're putting their product in front of more eyes, right?
Yeah.
It's in more households.
Yeah.
Even if you're sharing passwords, if you could get away with that, because they tried to crack down.
Oh
on
no,
that.
they getting that on the lock.
They're locking that down now.
Let me not talk too loud.
Let's keep that down.
You putting your product in front of more eyes. Like
Yeah.
it was rumored that they were going to go to Prime, which I didn't. Obviously, they had problems with the NFL, which got better this year, but
Better, but not great.
still problems.
Still problems.
Right?
Yep. Still working out the kinks, which I find interesting.
And they making too much money, so they doubled their evaluation. They were saying that they were going to pull in on network TV, where they're pulling in an average of 1 point something million views per week, right? Because they got to go up against Monday Night Football.
Yep.
All year.
Yep.
Then they got to go up against basketball sometimes and hockey sometimes and the Westminster Dog Show like sometimes. So it's like you put it out there more, right? They're gonna go more international pay-per-views. So now they're gonna hit different markets with the Netflix deal too, and they probably still can get their PLEs, which is pay-per-views, to the average man. They're still probably gonna get that off on a platform too. They still are in bed with Universal because they moved SmackDown from Fox
Yep.
to USA.
Yep.
So you still hit that market.
Yep.
You move their developmental
NXT
to CW,
to CW, which I thought was an interesting move, but
it puts it on. So when SmackDown moved back to regular cable, right, not the paid, the extra, they started pulling in like 3 million views. When you take it off of some people that don't have USA, they don't have sign-ins for USA. They'll move SmackDown over there. They'll move NXT, which was only getting like 700,000 views, right? They move them over to regular TV. You get that on more eyes now. Let that bump up to 1 million. That is going to crush the competitor who also put something on the same day, but they're terrible. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, like from the standpoint of this being on Netflix, and I will take a page out of Dave Chappelle's book. I'll steal a line from him when he was doing one of his stand-ups. It wasn't the last one, but it was probably 2 or 3 stand-ups ago, where he made the comment openly about Netflix and how much he loves them. And Chappelle's comment literally was, I fuck with Netflix, and this is why. And he told that story, which I think is phenomenal, about how Netflix, I think they had bought all of his...
Yeah, especially when he said, take my Chappelle show, all of my episodes off of there because I'm not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So he was telling people to boycott, like, don't stream my stuff on Netflix or I think it was on Max too. Don't stream it there because it's putting money back in their pockets because they own the distribution rights.
Yeah.
Don't put it there. Listen to what I put out. Now, when I'm ready and they cut me a better deal, now go watch it because syndication is.
But
king.
didn't Netflix help him with something like he ended up getting like a really bad breakup with Comedy Central, and Netflix I think bought the rights to all of Chappelle's stuff from Comedy Central, and then when they cut the most recent deal, they gave him all of his stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why he's like, that's why I fuck with Netflix. And I'll be honest with you, I do too. And I'll be honest, that's one of the reasons why. I thought that story was phenomenal. I thought what Netflix did was phenomenal. I think that their business practices on a day in, day out basis, and I read a lot about this kind of stuff. I love what Netflix does. They don't mess around. And I will probably watch more wrestling as a result of that being on Netflix than it would be if it was anywhere else.
Because it's so hard to find it on regular TV anyway, right?
As soon as you cut Netflix on, the most recent popular thing is going to pop up on the screen and say, newest episode of this or newest series that or whatever. And believe me when I tell you, as much money as Netflix is paying for this, it's going to be on every single time you turn on Netflix.
It's going to be right at the top of the bill.
Man, I hope they don't be jacking up my bill.
No, they said it's still going to stay the same price. And then another benefit that WWE and Netflix is getting, or TKO, right? I guess that's what you call them.
Yep. TKO, Endeavor and TKO Group. Yep.
They said it's going to be ad free, which is going to be crazy. That they're pulling in record number revenue of Slim Jim. They're in bed with Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Mountain Dew and all of these paid sponsors, right? Now you're going ad free, which you're not getting no commercials. So for people that don't watch wrestling, you're going to see a lot of rest holds, which is headlocks during the commercial break, right? You're going to see that live because there's no ads, but they still got to be pulling in some kind of money somehow, some way if you're getting $5 billion for the rights of one show. Like, not the whole suite. You're getting one thing from us, and you're getting $5 billion evaluation.
Well, I think, despite the fact
How
that
many
Netflix,
years is that for?
10 years.
It's for 10.
Yeah.
I think I read something about an opt-out after 5, possibly.
Yeah. The fact that Netflix has as many subscribers that it already does, but that subscriber number will go up.
Absolutely.
Because
when you get free pay, Peacock numbers went up record-wise whenever they say, hey, here's your free trial to watch WrestleMania or something like that. Of course, you got The Office and stuff like that, but when you get millions of views, 48 million views, that's more subscribers you're going to hit every single time for a WrestleMania or for something over there.
And for those that are concerned about the direction and whether or not, because remember we talked about how Prime has had issues with Thursday Night Football. For those who are concerned about it, Mark Shapiro, who's Endeavor and TKO's group president and COO, says he doesn't have any concerns about Netflix's tech capabilities in handling a weekly live show, and also with the time frame because this isn't starting for another year.
Yeah,
and so they've got time. So they've got time to figure this out. Crispy, go ahead.
I don't forgot what I was going to say. Oh, you think they're going to give us the what is it? SmackDown or Raw that they have?
They got Raw.
So are they going to give us the full Raw catalog, you think?
Yeah.
Go back and watch. As you know, on that Bird channel, you can go back and watch all the WrestleManias and stuff.
the Bird
The
channel.
Bird, that's good. I like that.
I say it completely different, but I can't say that on here.
I mean, you could say whatever you want to say on here, but that's
we're
if
gonna
you.
keep that up. Huh? No, I'm not. No, I can't. I don't trust you. You gonna leave it in there?
Yeah, this is also a live show, so it doesn't really matter if you
dude,
bleep it out in post. Yeah, don't do it.
Ain't
Don't
getting
do
me.
it. Yeah.
I want to go sign there.
Yeah.
Hey, come sign me.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. This is a huge deal, and this is just another example. This is like this is the most recent thing beyond YouTube TV getting
Getting that ticket, yeah.
right. This is you're going to see more and more of this, right? Another entity is probably going to pull something eventually as well. The Hulus of the world, Prime is going to pull something else in eventually once they figure out some of the issues that they have right now, which they're still trying to work out some of the bugs when it comes to Thursday Night Football. But this is just the beginning, and this is the end of this is the beginning of the end of cable TV.
The crazy part is we say that every single time a new streaming platform comes out somehow, some way, and then the deals to MLS goes to Apple, and then the deal to baseball goes to a different, and it's like, oh no, they got this now, and then
Does Apple have MLB too?
They got a portion of it for like Fridays or Saturdays. It's Friday night baseball with them,
Yeah. And they got MLS,
and they got MLS
Yeah.
with they got exclusive rights to that.
Yeah.
But then Yahoo/Amazon comes in and takes the NFL away. The NBA, I think, is with Max and Warner, right? Warner Brothers and all of them.
Yeah.
So they're over there. And it's like, what do you need regular TV for anymore? But people still buy it.
Well, and it still exists. And like I said, when I watch regular TV, which I don't watch very much of it at all because there's just not really a lot of programming on there anymore that interests me. But if I'm going to watch it at all, I watch it through a streaming service.
Absolutely.
I watch it if I'm going to watch something on one of the 3 classic networks, and that's very rare. I'm going to go through Hulu because I have Hulu Live. So then I'm just going to go to Live, and I'm going to go to the channel search, and I'm going to pull up that particular one.
I just do.
They have live sports.
Oh, he sound like the paid ad for them.
He does.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about the Jalen Hurts commercials where his name is Hulu has live sports on his jersey.
That was a really good. That was a very good ad on their part, by the way. That was clever
Because it was like HU and they just pulled it out.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Oh
Absolutely
my
perfect.
goodness, that was so great.
I
He
do-
hands out his credit card, and the credit card has the extension on it because his name's so long.
I do the same thing.
That was
like,
great.
For NBC, Universal. I go to Peacock and I'm just watching whatever they put on there.
Yep.
For CBS, I'm going to Paramount, right? We all got all of them because they make it even cheaper nowadays.
Oh, I have every single one.
They're
Of them.
bundling them, right? With Walmart Plus,
Right.
you get Paramount free. I get my groceries delivered to me, and I get Paramount for free.
Right.
Might as well go over there.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, every year my wife and I usually have this conversation where it's like, are we going to try to condense these down? And then we go through it and we go, here's the problem. There's at least 1 or 2 shows or whatever on each one of these that I want to watch, and I don't want to run the risk. Now, I know that I know some people that say, well, I just cancel it until the show airs the next time around. But dude, I got too much stuff going on in my life to remember that. I'm not going to put it on a calendar and say, I'm going to cancel it now and then I'm going to resubscribe later or anything else. And every year we talk about it and we never do it. And I have every single streaming service. I've got it all. And I'm not going to get rid of it because, as you said, it's not that expensive anymore. When you really, if I really break it down, it's not really that bad.
especially if you pay. Most of them have like where you pay for the year, so you,
And you
get,
get a
like
deal.
a 20% discount or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And if I paid $60 for the year, I know I'm good to the end of the year at least.
Yep.
And I can watch everything that I need without needing to pause the subscription or anything like that. Yeah.
And I'm guilty of being a consumer. And the reality is as a consumer, which most Americans are, we are consumers. Like, that's just what we do. We buy everything when half the stuff that we have, we don't even need. This isn't going to hurt anybody. Like, this is a
We're all
phenomenal
hoarders.
deal, right? Like,
We're all hoarders.
Well, when it comes to my TV and my entertainment,
Absolutely.
yep, 100%.
I'm looking in my room right now, and I'm like, why do I have that? Why do I have that? I got a bike sitting over here, $2,000. I haven't rode it in 2.5 years.
Yeah, you should probably get rid of that.
No, don't get rid of it. Sell it.
As soon as I get rid of it, then that's when I'm going to want to ride it.
And then he's going to buy another
That's
one.
why we have so much
See,
stuff.
that's the problem. We get rid of something and we like, yeah, I don't need all those sneakers. And I'm going to reload the closet back up again.
Yeah, because you could justify it, right?
Yeah.
I
now I got space now.
Right, yeah. I need something to put there.
Exactly.
I've got too much space here. Yeah, huge deal for WWE. This is a deal. This is a phenomenal deal, a huge deal.
That's just one part. And
Yeah.
then they run out that Dwayne, my man Dwayne, you my dog. He's now a board member, ringing the bell on the stock exchange with McMahon and Ari, whatever his name is, the guy from TKO Endeavor.
Yep.
You almost broke it.
Ari Emanuel.
He was like singing too. The Rock always singing, man.
Well, he can do whatever he wants.
Triple H was there, and now he's a board
He
member.
is
Now-
for sure living his best life.
So now he owns the name The Rock. Like, it's no more trademark using from WWE. He owns the name Rock. Like, that's him. So he went on First Take. He went on everywhere. He did like a little press
he
run
did his
today.
tour, sure.
And then he was like, well, one, he's promoting a match with his cousin, right?
Yep.
Who's the GOAT right now, Roman. Bloodline, shout out. So he's
Roman and The Rock are going to fight?
Yeah, he's trying to wrestle at WrestleMania.
It's coming. It's
It's for
everybody knows it's
for the
coming.
head of the table, right?
Yep.
Because it's the family, it's the dynasty of the Samoan.
Who's got to win that?
Ooh.
Who has to win
Rock's
that?
not going to win because
No.
Roman's still current, even though he doesn't defend the title as much, which is a good thing, though.
Right.
Yeah. Now Rock's gonna do the job. Hogan did it for him. See, Hogan did it at
Pass the
17.
baton.
They're gonna do the same thing right now. He's gonna pass it off to Roman. When Roman's time is up, he's gonna pass it to somebody. Like they keep it in.
If they
keep it in the
they
family.
wrestle, will this be the last time we see Rock do it? Does it make sense that that's his swan song? That's it. That's end of story. Doesn't wrestle in the ring
I
again.
know we're talking a lot of wrestling, right? Not really.
Yeah, we're talking about the Rock though. We can talk. Yeah,
It's Dwayne.
Yeah.
Oh, you call him Rock. I forgot. We on a first name basis. So Dwayne, he
Same.
Oh,
thanks.
Okay.
No, it was
special.
a report from the former. I guess is Sports Illustrated done? Not done?
They were
maybe?
done the day Jordan said he wasn't going to talk to him anymore after they put that stupid article out.
I seen that report though that said that he like disbanded like the whole
I wouldn't
Sports
surprise me.
Illustrated.
Nobody pays attention to SI anymore.
But Stone Cold did he came back a couple years ago, right? Wrestled a match shockingly.
Mm-hmm.
He recently said him and Rock fought last at Philly at WrestleMania like 15 or something like that. He was like he might give it one more go since The Rock coming back. Now that's you talk Rock and Roman. You talk Austin Rock again at WrestleMania. That brings back everybody from the Attitude Era. That all the eyes are going to be back on that, even if they only give us like 5 minutes in the ring.
Well, it would probably make sense for this to happen considering this deal, right? Like
Absolutely.
this is just it's a publicity stunt for lack of a better word.
More
right?
eyes on the product.
100%.
You got to bring, and that's why when they go over to Saudi Arabia, people are mad at the fact that they go there, but they get paid so much money
Of course they do.
that the government over there is saying, "Hey, can you bring back the Iron Sheik? Sheik, God rest his soul, has been gone for a year, a
Right.
couple years now, right? Can you bring back Kane? Kane hasn't wrestled in. Glenn
How long?
Jacobs is now a senator
Yeah.
or whatever, a mayor or whatever he is. So they still stuck in like that time.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back Goldberg. Nobody cares for Goldberg, right? But if I can bring back Rock in Austin,
Huge deal. Wow. It's something. It really is. This deal, I saw it and I was flabbergasted. But good for them. Good for
good for me.
good for everybody. It's just good for everybody.
Good for wrestling fans.
Yep. And
Because y'all looked at us like we was crazy.
You know what?
All these years. They looked at us like we was crazy.
I'm probably going to watch.
We're not crazy.
If it's on Netflix, I'm probably going to watch. I will say this. I think once I started understanding as I got older, I never became a consistent watcher, but I respected it because I realized what kind of wear and tear that puts on their body. Like they're athletes, man. It's insane. Like
Absolutely.
what they can do.
Seth Rollins just tore his knee.
Especially
And he's about to fight again.
Especially with the size of some of these guys. You got like 6 guys that are like 6'6" to 6'9" jumping off. Like it's crazy. I don't know how some of them don't have more injuries than they actually do.
Logan
I don't get
Paul, my guy,
Yep.
just had John Cena on his podcast. Like, today.
Yeah.
And he was
John
like,
Cena with hair?
yes, with hair. Well, he got the little ball
Not the
spots
same.
in the back area, but I mean, he tried to cover that up
He
sometimes.
got shaved that. He got shaved that head.
Yeah,
man.
he's
Nah,
just,
he got to
can't-
get back.
He can't go back to the crew cut with the like military
right. No.
cut no more because he's not coming out hustle, loyalty, and respecting no more.
Right.
Oh, speaking of, I just got my wig split last Friday.
Oh Jesus, not again. Next topic.
I just got mine done a couple of days ago, so
Next topic.
I had to get braided.
What'd you get done?
What did I get done?
He got cornrows.
Did you get your wig split?
Yeah.
No, okay.
I went with the high and tight.
Wig split. Yeah, I'm on it.
Ooh. That is high. That might be higher than what mine is.
Man, he went the college route. He looked like a little college kid over
Oh,
there.
I don't
That's
know.
the college
Pretty
kid.
pretty
cut.
close. Pretty close. Mine actually might be a little bit higher. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
It's okay. All right, moving on. Let's talk football. Let's talk NFL. Let's talk divisional matchups that took place this past weekend. Good football overall. Better overall football from the divisional round than what we got in the wild card round. Fewer games, but better overall production or product, I should say. With the exception, of course, of the Ravens-Texans game. That was good early, and then Ravens just walked away towards the end of the game.
Yeah. I said 30. It ended up being only 24.
The fix is in. It's all right.
Here we go. This early in the conversation, are we doing this?
The fix is in. Did you see the thing where they showed like the logo of
Yeah,
the Super
dude,
Bowls and the colors?
Did you
matched
see
each
Did you
time?
see that somebody took a picture of the caption?
I did. I did.
Unless that was somebody created that. That was literally somebody said, what was it? It was a news outlet that
But-
said,
What they didn't look at was in the caption. It said from the year of the blackout. So
oh, was it?
it was the year of the blackout.
See, I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. I didn't pay attention.
I looked
to
at the Roman numerals. I was like, that's not this one.
Yeah.
But,
But,
yeah.
the colors for Super Bowl
The colors have been on point.
now, but which red?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, because you've got two.
Could have been the Bucks, but they're going now.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know.
That's true. But Ravens take care of business 34-10 over the Houston Texans. Great year for the Texans, right? I mean, this team exceeded all expectations. They exceeded everybody's expectations, probably even their own expectations. And there is no question whatsoever that D'Amico Ryans is coach of the year. Like that's, I mean, if anybody else gets that, then that's a worse fix for me to give it to somebody else than than you know what I'm saying? Like
I agree.
that would be absolutely egregious. Like you cannot do that. D'Amico Ryans is definitely coach of the year for me.
Oh, here you go.
What about Dan Campbell?
There you go.
You got a team that just went 0 I know it's been 10,
Dude,
15, 12
yeah,
years,
come
went
on.
0-16. But this team, bro, the last 3 years that he's been there, he's been a strong candidate.
Yeah,
I
but they've
think
been
this
getting
is the year he gets them.
But they've been getting progressively better every year under Dan Campbell, and so the
Right.
fact that they made the playoffs was not a surprise. The fact that Houston did is the biggest surprise of the season, and the way that they did it. I mean, this team won. How many games did they end up winning? 10 games in the regular season. They exceeded everybody's
Houston, yeah,
expectation by like what 4 games minimum.
Way more than that. We was predicting them
Yeah.
at 3-4 wins.
Like I don't know how
A couple division games,
Who was-
possibly.
Yeah,
that was it.
with all of the famous people that are on TV all the time, do we remember what the consensus NFC North team was? Was it Minnesota?
Yeah.
Would have most people picked
Yeah.
Minnesota? So
Based
they
off
won their
of-
division, which is great.
Yeah.
Probably no one had them in the NFC Championship game.
I think you picked the Lions.
13
you
games?
You picked the Lions.
I did
to
when
come out
they
of the
was
North.
when they were playing well, and then they took the beating in Philly. Well, to Philly, and then people was like, "Oh, well, the Ravens."
No,
matter
the
of
Ravens
fact.
game,
The
yeah,
Ravens
yeah.
beat them, blew them out.
Yeah.
And it was like everybody was coming off the bandwagon. They took a little like 3-4 game stretch,
Yeah.
and then it was like I was like, "No, I mean the Lions are still the Lions. They're going to win the division."
Right.
And then they do what they do.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there were some other coaches, but I don't hate the Texans him getting that, but I'm gonna go with Dan Campbell on this one.
Mm.
Just I mean, I know it's going to be a strong and we'll find out next week kind of thing, but if they get to the Super Bowl, that's 100% lock he's getting it.
Yeah, I just think that the from the standpoint of expectations, I think is the reason why you've got D'Amico. Is this his first year as head coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
Rookie
like,
head coach, rookie quarterback.
just so strong, just so strong for me.
I like how he rallied the team. Not the fact that they were not supposed to win games. Not the fact they have a rookie quarterback and a rookie receiver and a really young team coming off that Deshaun Watson issues of him gone finally.
Yeah.
He just went in there and like rallied the troops. He went in there. He was like happy and energetic every game. Like that's my problem with Salah. He doesn't look happy on the sidelines unless we're winning. Like D'Amico Ryans, even in losses, he was looking like happy, like genuinely enthused to be a coach.
I'm not saying that it's going to wear off, and I hope that it doesn't, and I hope that I'm wrong. But of course, it's the anomaly of year one, right? Let's see once we start doing this for a few years, and maybe things don't work out as well. Let's see how how bubbly you are on the sidelines when things aren't going that well. But I respect that, and
I guess it's the same thing as being a player, right? Dan Campbell looks that way too in games. I'm not saying he looks like defeated when they're losing, but like he's always like energetic. Like,
so is Antonio Pierce. They're younger,
energetic.
These guys aren't that far removed from having played the game.
But those are the player
they
coaches.
still feel that way, right?
I guess coaches, like a LaFleur or a McVay or one of them, like they're different because they've been stuck in that coach mindset forever. These are players that's now jumping in there, and it's like, I know we can turn it around in 2 plays or something like that. I don't know.
Speaking of Antonio Pierce, kudos to him, because I know we're going to talk a little bit about some of the coaching that's gone on or the openings and the rumors and where some of these coaches may go. But a quick shout out to Antonio Pierce getting the job full time.
Should have.
He did get it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he did.
He should have been got it though.
Yeah. But I mean, they had to go through their due process. But Antonio Pierce gets the head coaching job with the Raiders, and he's gotten a ton of love from a lot of coaches, former and current, just saying that they think it's just a phenomenal move on the Raiders' part, maybe one of the best moves they made in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that team goes in the right direction. It would be cool to see the Raiders get back. We haven't seen them really be relevant in quite some time, especially now that they're in that new stadium. They're in Vegas. I mean, it's good. I think it'd be good for them to really be relevant and be a factor in their division next season. But moving on to the other game that took place on Saturday, of course, was Packers and 49ers. Look, I know that a lot of people still feel like the 49ers are the best team in the NFC, and that 49ers going to the Super Bowl. People were picking this, of course, at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, and once we got into the playoffs. But kudos to the Green Bay Packers for playing as well as they did in this game. And there were a lot of conversations and a lot of talk amongst, the so-called experts after the game was over. And of this opinion, I didn't disagree with. The Packers basically outplayed the 49ers for about 58 minutes in that game. You could argue that they outplayed them from start to finish, but the mark of a good team, a talented team with a good coach, a team that has been relevant for quite some time, a little bit more experience, a little bit, everywhere, right? On defense, better defense, better position players. Find a way to get it done. Niners win that game 24-21, but another strong showing from the Green Bay Packers, who the consensus, I believe, from all of us, were going to finish, third in that division if they were lucky? Probably third, because I think we all had the Bears finishing last, or did you actually have the Bears winning that division? I don't know. I
never did that.
But did you have the Bears finishing first?
Yeah, I had like pictures and pictures of the Kool-Aid for Fields and all of that.
Still do.
Yeah, I was. Ooh, they got me on that hype early in the season.
Yeah, Fields has a tendency to do that to you, but I think he did play better ball. But this isn't a conversation necessarily about Chicago, but kudos. I mean, really, folks, like the Packers, Jordan Love, remember when he was drafted and he got the opportunity to play in a few games, specifically in preseason, where everybody was like, oh, nope, terrible decision. Hope Aaron Rodgers never leaves because this is not the guy. This is not the guy. And there was a lot of conversation about Jordan Love. Now, does one season a quarterback make? Because this has certainly been his best season as a pro, and of course his first year as the full-time starter. But the pressure is on you as only the Crispy. How many quarterbacks have the Green Bay Packers had in total?
4 in the last 60 years,
right,
or something like that.
Something insane, right? So he comes in after the legacy that was built from the few quarterbacks that preceded him, comes in. Amazing expectations on his shoulders to continue that trend of, top-notch quarterback play from, the signal caller from the Green Bay Packers. And Jordan Love did an amazing job this year. He really did.
I'm glad he's on my team. I think I'm going to keep him as my keeper next year.
Ooh, that's
bro.
It's a little lofty.
Hey, you see what I did, right?
Yeah, I did see that.
I went and picked up all them cats off IR.
That's why I kept Aaron Rodgers the entire time.
Good. That's a
There
good
you
choice
go.
right there.
Yeah,
Probably
that'd be
gonna-
a good backup quarterback for you next year.
He's probably going to be my. Now, I'm gonna tell you what, if they bring in Devontae Adams, he's definitely going to be my keeper next year.
Can't wait.
All right, Bart.
Go on with the, yeah. Thanks. Thanks for picking that up.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
But yeah, a great job by the Packers. But the 49ers, they win this game, they find a way to win. And I know I ask this question every week. I asked this to the Chiefs after the win against the Dolphins, and I will.
Oh, they look better now.
They do.
Yeah, let's not bring that up.
I asked. The reason I bring it up is because I asked the question about whether or not we knew anything more about the Chiefs after they won that game against Miami, or was it just really a case of just Miami, just limping into the playoffs and managing to get in, but ultimately being taken down due to all the injuries and everything they have going on. What do we know about the 49ers now? And I'll start with you. What do we know about the 49ers after this game against the Packers? They pretty much outplayed, or at least played head-to-head with, the Packers played head-to-head with the 49ers until the very end of this game. Are you still as confident maybe in the 49ers as you would have been before after this performance? Or does that also mean that we're not giving the Packers the respect maybe they're due?
That's one.
Okay.
That Packers played really well. They obviously bumped the Cowboys, blew them out at home, right? Cowboys
Yeah,
crazy,
embarrassingly
crazy at home, right?
Yep.
Then when you go to, and it was bad conditions initially, right? The ball was wet. But when you go into San Francisco and with that defense and that defensive line at that, right?
Yep.
That front seven.
Yep.
You would say that the 49ers' weakness is their secondary, right? And with Jordan Love and the young receivers he's had, Aaron Jones still had another good game. The line showed up again. And Jordan Love showed why it's good to sit a couple years, right?
Yep.
But the 49ers...
Which has also happened with Packers quarterbacks consistently.
Absolutely.
Over the last,
Which is what I said a couple shows ago.
Yep.
Give me a quarterback and let him sit for a couple years.
Yep.
We don't have to throw him in there.
Yep.
Anthony Richardson should have sat, but that's a different story too, right?
Yep.
The 49ers, Debo is always hurt somehow, some way, because he plays very hard.
Yeah, he does.
He's
it's the style
always
of
hurt.
play. Yeah.
He's always hurt.
And McCaffrey's a one cut away from getting hurt again. And I know he
Always.
hasn't lately, but he was injury prone like a
period. He still is.
Yeah.
'Cause he's
He's
a
missing
smaller
time.
back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That 49ers team, and I've said it multiple times too, I'm still not a
Purdy guy.
fan of Purdy.
Yeah.
He played decent. He might be their weak point. He doesn't play very well without Debo, first of all.
Yeah, well, he showed that.
And Debo is questionable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Purdy, I think we said this before as well, and Crispy, I'll go to you in a second, but we know that Purdy doesn't have to be all world if the rest of this team is healthy for them to win a championship.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have to be. It would be advantageous if he can do what's necessary if they're down late in the game, at least get them down the field and put them in the type of position they would need to win a field goal, with a field goal, or be able to hand the ball off like you did to Christian McCaffrey to ultimately end up sealing this game over the win over Green Bay this past weekend. But Crispy, what are your thoughts on the 49ers and after what you saw against the Green Bay Packers? Like how much further can this team go?
So a couple of things here. One, I think this goes to show how important Debo is to their offense. Once he was out, I think it really showed. Granted, they weren't up by 10 points when he was in, but I think he's a big enough piece for them to where not having Debo in their offense is going to have a big impact against this Detroit Lions team. Second piece, I think Green Bay's defense did a really good job against Christian McCaffrey. He had like maybe 95 yards total of offense, 2 rushing touchdowns, but one of those carries was like a 40-yarder, right? He had busted out some tackles and was able to get loose. The fact that Green Bay has, 4 like 1 to 2 year old seasoned wide receivers on their team. And it seemed like every game in the playoffs, each one of them got to show out. I think speaks volumes to this offense and that they don't have to have that true number one. Aaron Jones being back 100% healthy in the playoffs, I think really showed. So, I'm really optimistic for this Green Bay team next year. And you know what? Kudos to LaFleur. Every year that he's been their head coach, they've made it into the playoffs. Granted, they weren't able to close the deal with Aaron Rodgers. They weren't able to do it here. But, we kind of talked about this last episode and a couple of others. Just giving yourself that chance to be in the playoffs is better than not making it in the playoffs. So the San Francisco side of things, they're seasoned. They've been here. They're the front runners for a lot of the season. I think we were able to see some of that maturity, that veteran. Hey, we've been here before. Don't panic. We're going to make it through kind of piece. I think that was really the deciding factor. Green Bay playing house money, being young. I think they were just outplayed at the end by San Francisco, who's a team that's been knocking on the door of a Super Bowl for the last couple of years. So I think that was the big difference. Green Bay next year, though, for sure a front runner and can only get better. So I'm excited for them.
Yeah, and a couple of quick points, really. We talk about how good Green Bay's offense was and how they surprised us. Jordan Love played extremely well. The wide receivers showed out. Aaron Jones, of course, has been the man the last couple of games with Dillon being sidelined, which I thought was going to be problematic going into the Cowboys game, and it wasn't. And then, of course, Aaron Jones continues to play well even in the San Francisco game. But Kyle Shanahan finally gets over the hump. Kyle Shanahan, as coach, going into the fourth quarter, if he was down by 5 points or more, was 0-30.
Oh, yeah,
and he finally got his first win, and they highlighted that one next to that 30. So Kyle Shanahan gets over the hump there, and the San Francisco 49ers move on to the NFC Championship game, of which they will be hosting because they will play the Lions, who a win over the surprising Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 31-23. I think that's going to be I don't know. It's hard to say that's going to be the game of the weekend because I think the AFC Championship itself is going to be pretty exciting as well. But Lions, just continue to show out. They've been at home for the last two playoff games, which is in itself is exciting because
the crazy ticket prices.
Yeah, absolutely not. And they, of course, as we mentioned, despite the fact that the average ticket price was over $1,100, it was sold out. Like they had absolutely no problem with everybody being there. Eminem on, I think, on location again.
Yeah,
for
they got
that
him out
game.
His house, out of his cave, wherever.
Yeah. And the Lions end up winning this game. I mean, 2 straight playoff games at home. They now go to the NFC Championship game for only the second time in their history. I believe it's the second time in their history. Mm-hmm. They lost the last one, was it 93? Mm-hmm. And with
Washington Redskins
with a legitimate shot at going to a Super Bowl, despite the fact that they got to travel. They've got to go to San Francisco. The Lions, the way they played, have a legitimate shot at this. Their defense is good. I thought that there were a few holes. There were a few things in the middle. They play some zone. There's some issues in the middle of the field.
They don't get much pass rush either.
Not a lot.
Not as
because
much
Hutchinson's really the guy. And if you
I was gonna say Hutchinson's the guy. They just let him go.
And if you double team him, then somebody else has got to step up definitely. And they may end up having to blitz a little bit more, which could be problematic for Purdy if you can get to him, can put the pressure on him. And of course, whether or not Debo plays or not. But we'll get into that conversation a little bit. But kudos to the Buccaneers, right? This was a team who last game of the regular season, and I know we've talked about this a number of times, they end up beating Carolina 9-0 to win the division, which was which is the worst division in all of football this year. But to come in and do what they've done, and they even played well in this game against the Lions. I mean, they were up against it. The Lions are at home. They're doing something that they haven't done in 25 years or whatever it's 21 years. And I thought they actually played pretty well. They were in the game for quite a bit. Then they faltered there in the fourth quarter, tried to rally, but couldn't get it done. So I want to talk about this particular individual in just a minute, but we'll go through the rest of these games really quickly. But your thoughts on the Lions?
Beating the Bucs or just overall?
Beating the Bucs at this point. I knew
what was going to happen. The Bucs are the Bucs, right? They played well.
But they can't run the ball.
Shockingly.
They cannot run the ball.
And Baker always, the gunslinger mentality that he has, he's not as good as the other gunslingers.
Okay.
He's not as good as the Stafford, as the Favre, as those guys that just sling the rock. I I think it has something to do with either the height still, right?
Yeah, not very tall.
And the arm is not there. As far as those deep balls, now Mike Evans dropped a perfect bread basket catch.
Yeah, it was a beautiful throw.
That got there.
Yep.
But that ball was in the air for a little bit.
Yeah.
I
His have
don't
got to
know.
be a little bit more rainbow.
Yes.
He doesn't have a cannon anymore. Yeah.
Baker, he does well things and then always makes that one mistake. Like, it was a sack. We was texting at that point.
Yep.
That sack would have took the game out of contention right there. I don't know. The Bucks was the Bucks, so I expected the Lions to go in there and win. I thought they were going to win by more, but
yeah, I don't know if that speaks to the maybe a little bit of pressure on the Lions to win this game and get to their first NFC Championship game in over 2 decades, or the fact that just Bucks just sort of overachieved. And I think it may be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I give credit to Tampa on this deal. But Lions ultimately come out on top. They will head to an NFC Championship game where they'll take on the 49ers. I don't know. It's been a great story. The Lions story has been absolutely phenomenal this year. You know, when I see Dan Campbell on the field, or I see Dan Campbell in the locker room, or I see him in a press conference
crying,
I want to run through a wall. Like, you know, he's just one of those guys.
He cries a lot.
He cries. He's an emotional guy. But but first of all, he's a monster. I mean, the guy's just a beast, right? I mean, you feel like he could put the pads on at any moment and go out there and play again. But I love the guy. I think it's a great hire. It's another one of those franchises, like we were talking about with the Raiders, that finally got it right. You know, because they tried for years to get the right coach in there. You know, and kudos to the Lions as well for putting the belief in Jared Goff, who a lot of people thought was
they wrote him off.
You know what, I was one of them. You know, but I mean, what he showed us in LA is not the same guy that he is now. I mean, not even close, right? He really was more of a game manager in LA, didn't seem to maybe shine under the lights of LA. And now he's gotten to Detroit. And he's just been able to go out there and ball. Now, he had a few times throughout the stretch of the year, and that game against Baltimore still sticks in my mind, where he struggled when things got really bad. But the game against Tampa Bay specifically, and again, kudos to Tampa for getting as far as they did, but when they needed him,
he made a big throw.
He made a big throw. And that was always the knock on Jared Goff, and has been the knock on him even a couple of times this year. But Crispy, I know we've talked about Jared Goff quite a bit, and of course that trade between LA and Detroit, you know, with switching quarterbacks, and obviously we saw Stafford come home last week, which was a hell of a game, best game of the wild card weekend. But you know I've admitted it. I've eaten crow on the golf conversation, because we've talked about it over the last few years, ever since he was in LA. But is Goff prepared at this point now to lead this team, to travel, go across the country, go to San Francisco, and get themselves into a Super Bowl?
Yeah, you know, if you want anyone at quarterback for them right now, I think Jared Goff's their best bet. He's used to playing against San Francisco when he was with the Rams, right? So he played these cats twice a year. Mm-hmm. He knows what to look for. He's played in a Super Bowl, so he's been in those big moments. This team, this coaching staff, these fans, they are 100% committed to him. And I think he's got a confidence right now with him that says, hey, yeah, I do rate to be a number one quarterback. I've taken another team to a Super Bowl already. I'm one game away from taking my second team to the Super Bowl. So I think with this coaching staff, the way his confidence is, I mean, St. Brown is a sick wide receiver. They've got 2 tandem running backs. You got Montgomery and you got Gibbs. You got power and lightning.
Gibbs is the X factor.
They're tight ends. You saw that they signed Zach Ertz today for some depth, just in case Lepora can't play. You know, their defense is where I'm a little worried, but I think if Debo doesn't play, that's one less thing that they got to worry about. If they can make sure Kittle stays under wraps, because I think Kittle's been the piece for San Francisco these last 2 games that have helped them. Last game, you know, getting Kittle early and allowing him to get, you know, warmed up, if you will, because we've seen when Kittle's quiet, their offense is different. So I think if Detroit can keep San Francisco or keep Kittle under bay, I think they're going to have a nice chance. Also, you know, when we're talking about Dan Campbell and things like this real quick, you know, I just pulled up their coaching staff, and I don't know if you guys have seen their staff that they have put together, but I mean, we start naming some of these guys, you're gonna be like, didn't he play in the NFL? Didn't he play in the NFL? Wasn't he a defensive coach somewhere else? Kind of thing. So they have a really nice coaching roster that has guys that have been in those big moments to help these young kids that they have on this team realize that, hey, you guys can do it. This is how you're going to do it. So I really love that coaching staff they have as well.
And we're really seeing more and more players become coaches, right? The tide is turning, right? We're seeing this more and more. And I remember texting you guys about Randall L. because I'm watching that,
I
right?
didn't know who that was.
And I'm watching it, and then he just flashes. He's in there in second. He's kind of standing in front of Campbell, but significantly shorter. And he's standing in front of him, and then all of a sudden it goes away. And I'm watching the game, and I'm like, hold up a second. And I paused it, and I had to rewind it. And my wife was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, she was pissed. She actually didn't want me to stop the game. I was like, "I just got to check something real quick. I just got to see who this is." And sure enough, Antoine Randall L., of course, former wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I couldn't believe it when I saw him pop across the screen. I thought that was pretty.
No, don't
pretty
talk
hilarious.
about Randall.
Yeah.
L. Let's talk about the defensive coordinator. Shout out Aaron Glenn, the
Okay.
former Jet great.
Yeah.
All right. I was just saying.
Excited.
I gotta get
That's
some.
great.
It's a jet somewhere. I gotta. Come on now.
So that's a great example, right?
Yeah.
So you got Antoine Randall L., which is the wide receivers coach, right?
Yeah.
Then on the defensive side, they have Aaron Glenn, who's their defensive coordinator, but their cornerbacks coach, Dre Bly.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Dre Bly.
I forgot.
I
about
ain't
that.
heard
Yeah.
him in a
I
minute.
haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So senior defensive assistant, John Fox.
John, hold on. You talking about Carolina, John Fox?
Yes,
Senior
John
defensive
Fox is
assistant.
on that
I
squad.
thought he was. You don't like John Fox.
Quarterbacks coach, right? Mark Brunell.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah.
They got all
Right?
former players.
Wow.
Okay.
I know there's more. Okay, so Dan Campbell, of course, he played. He was a
Right.
tight end.
He played for the Lions.
Assistant quarterbacks coach. You ready for this one?
Ken Dorsey.
I don't. We'd have to confirm this. JT Barrett.
Hold on. JT Barrett, like from Ohio State.
Ohio
JT
State
Barrett.
JT Barrett. Yeah.
That's what I'm confirming right now. It looks like him. Yes.
Oh, he was just in the league not too long ago, like a couple years ago with the Patriots, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's wild, man. That's actually
Yep. This is JT
That's him.
Barrett from Ohio State.
that's wild.
Well, Aaron Glenn will be a head coach soon. Yeah.
He might end up being in Atlanta.
He's getting a couple
He's
interviews.
Yep, he's already interviewed there. Yeah, you want to talk about Atlanta interviewing everybody. The Bill Belichick talk's getting quiet, but we won't go there right now.
Seen the Harbaugh thing.
Yeah,
Seen another thing too.
let's see what. Let's talk Chiefs Bills.
Let's
I mean,
let's not talk Chiefs Bills.
Chiefs win this game 27-24. This was also a very good game. This game got the highest, most watched divisional game ever, with over 50 million people watching.
We know why.
They also watched Tyler Bass miss a 44-yard field goal, which he usually should kick in his sleep.
We know why that it was so many people watching that game. This person in the skybox again.
I will say this. I will agree with you to a certain extent, right? I will agree with you that obviously played a role. But I also believe that going into this game, as well as the Bills had been playing, the crab in the basket, need for the Chiefs to get knocked off the pedestal,
lose. Absolutely,
100%.
Because the narrative right now is let's get the Chiefs out the Super Bowl so we don't have to see Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl.
Do
right?
whatever's necessary.
Hell, they're talking about not even seeing Jason Kelsey anymore. Like they're mad that Kelsey was taking his shirt off and drinking. And
I thought that was pretty cool. I laughed. I thought that
he's
was funny.
He is great.
He is great.
I love them. You
Yeah.
just took Crispy off the thing. You just deleted him. He gotta go drop a deuce.
Okay. I'm sure he's super excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just thought that was a heck of a game. The Bills, once again, with the opportunity.
Let's not. It's the jokes wrote themselves with the wide right. We knew that part, right?
Did it ever? I mean, did it ever? When it happened, I literally put my head in my hands. I was like, not again.
It was who fake punts in that situation.
Did you see the Did you see that meme on? Not even a meme, but thing on. Did I send that to you?
If you're talking about where they showed of a different guy just falling back like that on a fake punt. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one. The one where they said that they it was what's his name? The
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin's make a wish. It was that's terrible. I know that's terrible.
I know we're not saying it was a bigger wish for him to run that play.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's what I saw.
It's in the similar.
I saved that too. I'll have to say it.
It's in the similar vein. They showed a play. It's a completely different. Not this game.
Right.
It's a fake punt.
Right.
And then the gunner on the side just goes like this and just falls back. And it was like that was what Damar Hamlin did.
Damar Hamlin's
Again, I said, "Oh, you gotta stop this."
When I read that, I showed it to my wife, and I was like, "I can't believe what I'm reading here," and I don't know where I'm going because I laughed at that, but
they didn't even make
Damar Hamlin's make a wish to run a fake punt. I was like, "Oh, that is just terrible." The internet is still undefeated.
in
However,
a
because of
divisional
that.
round. No, that's crazy.
Very true. Very true.
That was that, but I mean, and I thought
McDermott's got to go.
Something's
got to.
Allen played well.
He missed a big open Stephon Diggs on a drag route.
Yeah, but Diggs also dropped one.
Yeah, Diggs
two.
had a couple
That
of
bomb too.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
bad
Another
drop.
bomb miss.
really
but
bad drop.
It's not Allen. Josh Allen, he did everything he could. He ran, he scored. Man, that dude's good.
he ran too much.
I don't disagree with that. I really thought that they started well. I mean, Cook had a great game too, though. They did run the ball extremely
he did
well
well.
early,
They did.
and then they got away from it.
Absolutely.
The Bills,
Like they always do.
what they usually do. They panicked, got away from it because they realized the Chiefs had started. They're okay. We need to keep up, and you can't get into a shootout with the Chiefs.
No.
How many times have teams tried to do this and never figure it out?
Well, technically, McCall Hardman almost gave him the damn game back again when he fumbled.
Man,
See,
Yeah.
that's another.
I was hoping we wouldn't bring up McCall Hardman,
I'm
but
glad. Oh yeah,
Go
that's your
Dogs.
guy. That's your guy.
I told
Go
you he's a one
Dogs.
dog I don't claim. Sorry,
That's
sorry,
why
McCall.
That's why I'm glad we cut his ass earlier.
I'm telling you, I really thought he was ultimately going to be the number 2 guy in Kansas City, and it never materialized. He could never get it together. When he has opportunities, they throw in the ball and he coughs it up or he drops it on key downs when they
How do
need
you
to get the
fumble?
first down.
That put the game away right there too.
Yeah.
That
Did you
was
see they're
any-
talking about changing that rule as a result?
I did see that for no reason.
Because you know why?
Hey,
Because it
Rich
happened to the
Eisen's
Chiefs.
going to get that fixed.
What?
Rich Eisen, that fumble through the end zone stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Rich Eisen. You ever seen his rants about that?
He doesn't like it, does he?
Oh, he hates it.
But I mean, what
he wants to be the ambassador
Well,
to get that rule fixed.
But here's my question for he and anybody else. What's the alternative? What do you do? He fumbled the ball and it went through the end zone. What am I supposed to do? Give it back to him on the 1 yard line? Like, what's the answer to the question?
What's the penalty?
Yeah. I
You
don't know-
screwed
I don't
up and
know
you
what the
fumbled
penalty-
and it went into the end zone. I'm supposed to do you a favor?
If I run out the back of the end zone, it's a penalty. Like you get 2 points, right?
Right.
If I Dan Orlovsky it, it's a point. If we punt the ball and it goes in the end zone, I get 20 yards, right? It's a touchback.
Right.
So if I fumble the ball through the back of the
Right.
end zone, not my end zone,
Right.
it's your ball.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's the rule.
There's a penalty here. Right?
Or
Let me ask.
a 20-yard penalty.
Right.
What do you do?
Maybe back him up. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe the penalties against themselves 20 yards back.
Yeah.
You can't kick the ball. out
Let
of
me ask
bounds
y'all
on the
this.
thing either, right? On the
Stephon
fumble.
Diggs, he gone, right?
He's
He's
gone.
piecing out.
I can't.
This
can't
time
see
Buffalo's
him.
done,
I
right?
can't see him staying in Buffalo.
A report said that he
Any
wants to stay. That's a report that I just read.
any chance he goes to KC? If you can't beat him, join him.
Hey, Dion did it.
I mean, a lot of guys have. I mean, I you know what? Here's the thing. If Stephon Diggs does not wait a minute, he's still got what, like 2-3 years left on that deal. They signed him to a huge contract.
He's like 31 though. Well, he's not old, right? But by any means, but he's older.
I mean,
He's
they'd
older
have to
receiver
trade
now.
him. I don't even know if they would. They might be the type of organization to be like, we're not trading you, and then he may not play, and then he'd get fined for not showing up and whatever. But
He'll be gone.
if he goes anywhere else, I mean, you have to be lining up if you're a lot of teams in the NFL for his services, right? I mean, you have to. I mean, obviously, it just depends on the compensation. Are they going to ask for too much,
I don't
especially since
know.
they don't want to trade him?
Not-
Or
not
anything? I
that-
mean, I get that part,
I don't know because of the antics.
right?
And it's not that he's not a passionate player,
Mm-hmm.
but he always has something wrong and he doesn't show up in big games.
Right.
Other than the one catch from Minnesota, he does not show. And that was clearly we know the problems with that. That was
Still a great play,
the
though.
dumbest
I love
missed
watching that play.
tackle of all time.
I love watching that play. I absolutely love watching that play. I love watching that play, and I love watching Marshawn Lynch go beastquake on New Orleans as well. It just makes me happy.
Oh, you just hate the Saints.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, he can potentially get out of his contract in 25. Looks like.
Oh wow,
something's got to happen. They got to blow it up. You can't keep running the same team back over and over and over and over and over and over.
But if it's, I
mean, I know they had the defensive injuries and stuff like that. They were just piling up for him on that side of the ball. But I mean, at that point, you say, "All right, we have a potent offense. Let's just go score points." And they weren't able to do that either.
I got an idea.
The tight ends, tight ends play so well too.
Yeah,
Kincaid and Knox.
Yeah, great tight ends. Got to keep those guys there. So you keep Allen, keep Diggs. Like if Diggs says he wants to come back and he's serious and he comes back, it's Allen, it's Diggs. You need to go get yourself a legitimate number 2. Okay.
Well, Gage didn't play. Gage has been out. I know he may not be a legit number 2, but he's still pretty good.
You're talking about Gabe Davis?
Oh, Gabe.
Yeah,
Gabe
Davis. Yeah, Gabe Davis.
I like Gabe Davis, but he hasn't been part of this organization for a lot of the year due to injury. When he had the opportunity, I don't know. He's not really
showed up in that
last year's game
last year, but that was it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't have a number 2 receiver.
Here, let me tell you. You know what you got to go do? You know what you have to do if you're Buffalo. The opportunity is now going to present itself unless he decides to retire.
Go bring back T.O.
You need to go pay and get and bring him in, and it's Derrick Henry, folks. It's Derrick Henry in Buffalo. I realize that Cook is a good back, but you need that guy. I've talked passionately about the Bills need to bring in a bruising type of running back like a Derrick Henry who can slow the game down for you. This game was a prime example.
They had one and they cut him.
Who?
Leonard Fournette. They brought him in,
and then they
never played him.
Yep, they played like a few snaps, and actually was pretty. I
think it's because it's not a fit. Their offense, I just don't know if it's a big back kind of offense. What they're doing,
they could have brought in Cook's brother. He was free.
How do you look? Here's my thing, and I don't necessarily disagree with you, Crispy, but here's my thing. Like when you have a Derrick Henry, though, you can make it work, right? Like. Yeah. I mean, and besides the fact that he's getting a little bit older and he's got so much wear, you don't necessarily have to run him as often as everybody else did, as often as Tennessee did.
And that's why you have Cook.
Right.
To spell him.
And that's your 1-2 punch. And I just think it's a match made in heaven. I thought they should have traded for him. They didn't. Now you don't have to give up draft capital because he's going to be a free agent. And you can go sign him. I don't know. I just think it makes a lot of sense. It's
going to be interesting what his journey looks like this off.
He's going to go to Dallas. Watch.
Oh,
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet?
Please don't.
I guarantee it.
That's going to be unfortunate.
I'm calling it.
All right. Going to Dallas. All right. I'll think about where I think he'll end up going. So we've already. I know we talked about the Bucks Lions game. Is Baker Mayfield going to get himself a contract this offseason?
I don't care.
Anything more than a 1-year deal maybe somewhere, or is he going to get actually a nice deal, and is it going to be Tampa that's going to pay him?
Might as well. They ain't got nothing else. What do they have? Who did they draft? What is it? The kid from Florida, Trask?
Yeah, Kyle Trask, and Mayfield came in and beat him out. Trash.
That's what I'm saying.
Where's he from?
Florida.
Trash.
Does Mike Evans stay? Is Mike Evans going to be a
I think he's a Buck for life.
I think if we don't get Devontae, he goes to New York.
I mean, is everybody? Oh, so, you know what? This is funny because
I'm not saying that like that. I'm not a Heat fan. I don't want everybody.
Dude, you're beginning to sound more and more like Crispy every day.
We need a number 2.
Any availability?
That's a fact.
Any available guy out there, and it's like, oh, he's coming to the.
Do we not need a? We need a number. We need a number 2. I've never called for like, yo, let's go get hop.
You got Randall Cobb.
Let's go.
But here's the thing: if you go get Devontae Adams, who's your number 1?
Garrett Wilson is still the one.
Garrett Wilson and Adams. Okay. Oof.
Wilson is the one still.
Ooh.
I'm not saying Devontae is not Devontae, but
Devontae's number 1 if he comes there. No, Wilson would be 2.
Wrong.
Shit.
Devontae likes playing in the slot too. Like he could play anywhere.
Devontae's. Hey, and if you have A-Rod, you know who A-Rod's guy is.
Did you not? Yeah,
Devontae.
We're not going there.
Devontae Adams.
You didn't watch
So
Hard Knocks
your
or
one is
anything like
Devontae
that.
Adams.
Yes, I did.
So you see that he was bonded with Garrett Wilson too, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if
All right.
Devontae comes in, you
for
think
sure.
that they just there's no the chemistry? You don't think that
I never
exists?
said that.
And you want Devontae there. So what?
I love Devontae.
Okay, there you go.
And Garrett
Hey, I
Wilson
just
changed his
pulled
number for
a
him too.
top destinations for Derrick Henry.
Dallas,
Number 3.
Philly.
Kansas City, number 2.
Oh,
Wow. Who's number 1?
Buffalo.
Baltimore Ravens.
Oh my gosh, that's not gonna work.
Well, actually, it would kind of work.
It's not gonna work.
Well, I mean, as I said, I can't say that it's not going to work anywhere because I think Derrick Henry works anywhere you put him. I don't care. I don't care what kind of system you run. Put him as your back. Game over.
a lot
I'm
of
serious,
teams
dude.
don't run between the tackles anymore. Everybody, we seen it. Was it the Chiefs game? Is the Chiefs Bills? It's screens galore.
Yeah.
Screen. I'm gonna throw a fake screen. The Texans do it so much. They fake the toss, they turn, they throw a screen pass. Like they use that as play action.
Right.
Like it's too many screens. I don't know why they do that so much.
I still think that
I'm tired of the damn screen game. But
You
that's
know
a
what?
running play for them.
I've been tired of the screen game ever since it first
Yeah.
became invented and screen because if you know what you're doing and you run it well, and New Orleans did it for years and it really pissed me off all the time. It was like, oh, there's a screen again. And if it's run well, if you're really, really good at it, you can't stop it.
And
Like,
I'm
you
not
just
even
can't
talking
stop
about back screen though. They're screening to tight ends.
Right.
They're screening the receivers. They
They do throw some scary passes to those tight ends when they do tight end screens. Sometimes
Absolutely.
I'm like, dude, if you'd have thrown that off by like 2 feet, it's getting picked off. But
in the middle of the
Well, that's
linemen. It's too
yeah,
much.
That's the other side of that, right? If that corner bites and he reads it right,
yeah,
house call.
yeah.
So it's a feast or famine for sure.
I've got a few headlines I want to get through relatively quickly. I do want to talk about the NBA a little bit. Just a quick preview of the championship games. We've got a little bit of time here, and then of course we're going to get to our top 5 Royal Rumble. I'm just going to call them performances because that's how I did. That's how I
I
made my
hope I
list.
did you proud here.
That's how I made my list. So
Yep.
I think we're both going to make you proud.
Man,
so proud.
I think we're both going to make you proud. Really quickly, though, you've got Callahan, the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals, now taking the head coaching job for the Tennessee Titans.
Boo.
When he became an option for a lot of teams and they started interviewing him, I think one of the things that was the knock on Callahan from me, which is why I don't know that hiring him as a head coach already at this point in his career is a good idea. Don't get me wrong, he comes from great pedigree, right? His dad was a great coach in the NFL.
That's Bill Callahan.
Bill Callahan, yeah. Okay. He had a lot of success in the NFL. I believe did some college coaching as well. So a good coach obviously comes from good stock. But here's my thing. Callahan comes out of Cincinnati, and I think that he was a guy that, despite the fact that they called him the OC, he was a guy that had a lot to do with the quarterback success. We saw Browning come in and play extremely well, and they give a lot of that credit to Callahan. But Callahan wasn't the one calling the plays, right? Their head coach, Zach Taylor's calling the plays on offense. Like, he calls the majority of the offensive plays. And so what is it? What makes? I mean, I don't know, and I'm asking. I mean, what makes Callahan such a intriguing option for you as head coach at this point, knowing those things? Because it's not a secret.
I don't know. It was the same, I guess, question for Bieniemy and KC before he got the job in Washington.
Yeah.
They said he didn't call the plays most.
Right.
It was Andy Reid.
Yeah.
So it was like, what is he there for? I don't understand why you keep an OC around if you call the plays. I just don't understand that. You might as well take
in
his
case
money
there's
too.
a sick day. How Dan Campbell get the job? What has he done? Before the Lions picked him up, he had been a coordinator in a lot of different places. But sometimes just getting that, maybe he's got some energy. Maybe he's got something that when he was doing his interviews and his talks, and they just like the vision that he wants and his opportunity. And I don't know, maybe he just interviewed well.
And that's what I was thinking too, is that they put a huge onus on the interview itself. But I've got to wonder if he was, and for all intents and purposes, from everything that we're hearing, is that Callahan was a huge factor when it came to the quarterback play, right? He's a guy that the quarterbacks leaned on. So more like a quarterback's coach per se, right? They've got a young quarterback in Tennessee
Levis.
that need some tutelage, right? And so
They
this
got two of them.
Yeah, exactly. So they've got an opportunity here to bring in somebody that could probably help them with their quarterback play, but it's a difficult situation for him to go into, especially if Derrick Henry doesn't come back. I mean, I know they like the other kid, I forget his name off the top of my head, that came in and ran when Henry wasn't on the field.
I don't even know who that is.
I can't remember his name. He played well. He's a good back. But it's not going to be an easy job to take because we saw this team regress last season. Over and above, is D-Hop going to stay? Like, is he going to remain? As I think he was a 2-year deal, but with the option to leave after 1. So that's a tough ask going in there. So he must have interviewed extremely well, and I think they feel like they need a guy in there that's going to help them when it comes to their quarterback play.
Did they? Why did? I guess my question would be, why did they go unknown essentially?
Right.
Instead of, you got all these big names out there right now. I know you don't have many pieces there, but this is a head coaching job,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the big names weren't. Maybe they weren't a viable option. That might be part of the problem. I mean, I don't think that the Tennessee Titans are going to get an interview with Harbaugh. They're not going to get an interview with.
Bring in Pete Carroll, let him run the show.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad option. It's not a bad option.
He's been good for quarterbacks apparently too.
Yeah, he has done a good job. Yeah, I don't know. I find that interesting. Moving on, Brian Johnson fired as the offensive coordinator of the Eagles. I mean, they continue every few days to.
They fired Patricia too.
They're just firing people. Like every few days, it's just like, well, there's so much talk about all these other teams getting head coaching opportunities, and the playoffs are going right now. So we'll just every 72 hours or so, we're just going to fire somebody. And there's so many other things that everybody's talking about. They're just going to fire their offensive coordinator. But Crispy, I'll ask you. This one kind of boggles the mind for me a little bit. Like, what is it about getting rid of those getting rid of these coordinators and keeping Sirianni, or is this just the next domino to fall? And if the Eagles feel like they have an opportunity to get one of these other big name coaches, then Sirianni eventually does get the axe.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure with that piece. I don't know who's making the calls there, if it was Johnson or not, but they got to do something, right? That offense just fell apart second half of the season. I don't know if the whole A.J. Brown thing's if we're going to be reading about that in the offseason or not. But, yeah, I think they have some questions. And, you've said it in the past, someone's got to pay for not finishing the deal. So sometimes it's easier for those OCs, and maybe Sirianni's going to take more of the play calling. Who knows? But be interested to see what they come out of this with.
I don't know. I just found this one. I just find this firing from the Eagles a little bit suspect for me. Like, I know that the offense didn't play as well this season as they did last season, but I think a lot of the problems that we saw were also on the defensive side of the ball. And I know they've made adjustments as a result of that as well, but it just doesn't feel like I don't feel like I can put I point the finger at Ben Johnson. Like, I don't know that I can sit here and say, oh yeah, Ben Johnson, yeah, you should definitely get fired based on the way they played last year. I don't know. I mean, is it because they regressed and Hurts didn't play as well this year as they did last year that they can somehow put that on the offensive coordinator? Did the play calling not work with the team? Did the play calling change like significantly from the year before when they got themselves to a Super Bowl to this year? Or did everybody just play like shit? Like, they really just did not play that well. The offensive line didn't play as well. They took away some of the pieces of this puzzle, and that secondary was still, especially in the middle of the field, more like the safeties, but still a problem. So there were so many different areas that I don't know. I find it a little bit difficult to say, okay, the offensive coordinator is the fault when Jalen Hurts was having a problem hitting the broadside of a barn.
That's what happens when you play in a big market, though.
Somebody's taking a fall.
Market like that, somebody's got to take the axe.
Yeah.
You just came off a Super Bowl run. You still won, 11, 12 games this year?
Yeah.
You should have did something.
Yeah.
And you lost to the Bucks, and we all know how the Bucks ended the year. So
yeah, and they got annihilated by the Bucks as well. That was that was an ugly loss. A name I haven't heard quite a bit of in I don't know how many years. Didn't even realize he was still there. Dan Morgan. I mean, Dan Morgan.
Are we talking about the same Dan Morgan I think we're talking about?
Yeah, the former linebacker for the Carolina Panthers.
With the black visor?
Yes.
The you.
Yeah.
That guy?
he has been named. He's the new president of football operations and GM.
Kudos. I like Dan Morgan.
I do too, but I mean, I suppose if you're really following Carolina and you're reading all of their blogs and all of their information, you would know more about this. But from a national level,
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Dan Morgan's position and why all of a sudden he's the new president of football operations and the GM. Like he's still quite a young man by comparison,
He
right?
retired very early. Yeah.
And the question, of course, becomes: the question that people are asking is this Tepper's guy? Was this him all along? Was this who he
Probably.
wanted? But this is an odd situation for Dan Morgan to be in. Now he's going to give his all because he was a Panther, right? I mean, he's going to give it 100% all the time. He's got a lot of, energy. Like he was always a big energy guy. So I'm sure that's probably going to resonate as being the GM. But at this point right now, I think that the hire internally probably made the most sense for them because I think a lot of GMs are wary about going to Carolina after what has happened with their last couple of GMs and how Tepper's handled the organization since he took over as owner.
Yep.
So
They got a lot of problems there.
Yeah, a lot.
And I don't think bringing in a former player is going to do anything. Yes, it's going to cool the fan base down somewhat, but I don't know.
Yeah. And I think from a fan base perspective, that was also a good hire as well because all of a sudden there's a renewed sense of like, oh,
we got it. But that was the same thing with the coach, though. They thought bringing in, was it Wright?
yeah, Frank Reich. Yeah.
They thought bringing him in, like, oh, he was our first quarterback.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff. And that fell out of favor really quick.
But Morgan was like Dan Morgan was like heart and soul of this team for a long time, right? I mean, really, and especially at that position.
He should have won a Super Bowl, too, but we'll skip that.
One of the great second halves of any Super Bowl ever watched.
He's 45.
45. Wow. GM, Carolina Panthers. That is going to be an interesting. I will follow them a little bit more closely in the offseason just to see what kind of moves he's going to be allowed to make. Like,
We'll see.
how much does Tepper step back and say, okay,
we will see.
we will see. That will be
Yeah.
a storyline that you will hear a lot about, especially going into the draft and free agency. Speaking of former Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton.
Need to shut the hell up.
Cam Newton has come back out. Now, he's on podcasts all the time now. I don't know if he has his own or I see it
Yeah,
his
he got
face
his own
everywhere.
podcast.
He's got his own, yeah, and he is always
Yeah, him and
dressed-
Brandon Marshall got a big thing going.
He is always dressed in some kind of something.
No,
He looks like a hippie with the
he's
glasses.
stylish,
he has the whole
apparently.
time. Apparently, yeah, that's style.
Full show.
But Cam Newton says that he will return to the league.
What? Say that again.
He will return to the league,
When he gets paid, what, $10 million or something like
but
that?
only play for one team.
It's not my team, is it?
Nope.
All right, we cool then.
My
'Cause I don't want him.
team.
Falcons?
Yes.
Get the hell out of here.
Oh, I mean, he's from Atlanta.
So?
His fam. Well, he said he's from Atlanta. His family lives there, and he doesn't want to move his family around. Doesn't want to be far away from him. So if he plays, he'll play for Atlanta.
You want him to quarterback your team currently?
No,
Okay,
absolutely
then
not.
there we go.
No.
Next topic.
But I think he's going to express interest in going there as well, like other quarterbacks have. Kirk Cousins has come out and says that based on the rumors of Bill Belichick potentially being their next head coach, he'd like to go there. I would definitely do.
Oh, it's okay. Hold on. Time out.
What?
It's okay for you to take Kirk Cousins at his age, but when Aaron Rodgers was coming to my team, y'all all wanted to bash it. Everybody, old quarterback, good and young quarterback. He's damaged goods. He's older. He's declining. All of that. You're going to take Kirk Cousins.
This coming from the same guy who then, when Crispy gave him a bunch of options with a
Nah, he
bunch
was
of
giving me
older
bums. He was
quarterbacks
giving me bums,
to
though.
come there,
He was giving me
you had a
bums.
problem with the fact that no. And why did you say no? Because they're old. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. You want your cake and eat it too.
No, Aaron Rodgers does drugs though, so technically the drugs balance out the oldness. So
One of those quarterbacks took a team to the playoffs, by the way.
who?
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
He didn't
Joe
take
Flacco.
them to the. Let's stop with that narrative, please.
What?
He did not take them to the playoffs.
Weren't they only like a game above 500 when he took over at quarterback?
He took them to the playoffs.
Do you think who's the other quarterback in Cleveland?
PJ Walker won 3 games over there for
Is
them.
PJ Walker, are they winning 11 games with PJ Walker? at
Probably.
quarterback?
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
That's why they call them opinions.
We don't know. That's all I said. We don't know. I didn't say PJ Walker is a world beater. Hell, they didn't give the young kid the reins like they were supposed to. The Dorian Johnson, whatever, Finney,
Because
whatever.
they
his
didn't
name
have confidence in him at this point.
The guy with 5 names?
yeah, he got 5
does have
names.
5
You are
names.
right.
Yeah.
But let's not say Joe Flacco took them to the playoffs. That defense took them to the playoffs.
And then fell apart.
They damn sure did.
They really did.
That defense took them
Yeah,
to where they were. The
the
number one defense.
Well, the defense certainly helped. There's no doubt about that. But Flacco played very well down the stretch. Those last 5 or 6 games that he played.
Played with a house. Oh, come on.
Yes. Some of that is playing with house money, but he also has the experience, and he's also won a Super Bowl.
And he showed why he should have been sitting on the couch still.
Yeah. Well, what's
There
the
you go.
excuse for the defense?
Huh?
What's the excuse for the defense?
Miles Garrett was just dunking the basketball beforehand. I don't know.
I don't know how one thing has anything to do with the other, but that's cool.
Maybe Deshaun Watson brought the masseuses around.
Hey now.
I don't. You don't know what's going on. Who knows?
But Cam Newton says he wants to play in Atlanta.
You want him there too.
No, I do not. I swear to you. Don't do this to me. Atlanta, don't you dare do this to me. Arthur Blank, I'm telling you right now, there will be riots in Atlanta if you take Cam Newton.
Cam Newton to the Falcons, baby. We calling it here, right here.
Yeah, we
BallzOut.
gotta make this happen.
Cam Newton to the Falcons, and he's starting next year
I'll
too.
probably take a year off.
I wish
if
we
that
would have
happens.
started this conversation earlier.
Well, you want to go ahead and add whatever you'd like to add to the
Nah,
conversation.
I know we got time restraints.
You go ahead. Just
We'll
give me
catch you
something.
next time.
Give me something. I want to hear something.
No, I don't want to get started on this. I got a top 5 to give you.
Oh man, lame.
I don't know if. Yes, please give your opinion. I don't know if we want the top 5 for him.
Come on, this is gonna be great. You're
I don't
gonna
know
love
about
it.
what
Just
the
give me
top
like
5
60 seconds.
Yeah,
give
60
me
seconds.
give me something about this Newton to Atlanta thing.
Can he fit a helmet?
Cam Newton is 100% better than any of the quarterbacks you have on your roster right now, even at his age.
Ooh.
He's gonna
Is he
come
better
in there.
than
He's gonna
all
put
32 quarterbacks in the NFL like he claims?
no,
Okay.
but he's better than what you have.
Okay.
So that's the important piece here. Second piece is he's going to bring fans to the seats.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to put butts in the seats
Butts, seats.
in that offense. He's not going to have to be the focus piece. He's got a nice receiver he's going to be able to throw to, which we've seen when he's had good receivers. He's
One
a
nice
productive
receiver.
He can definitely throw the ball further than 50, 60 yards probably still. You got a nice running game. You got a tight end, which we saw with him and why am I drawing the blank on the tight end?
Olsen.
Yeah, Olsen. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the fit. Of course, I'm biased. I'm a Cam Newton fan. He's from Atlanta. He's a home team guy. I don't know. But I still think Justin Fields is the best pick. If you don't get Justin Fields, then Cam Newton. Sure, let's do it.
So you
That's
think
fine.
Cam Newton? So you would take Cam Newton over Kirk Cousins right now? It's taking too long. That's a no.
That's tough. That's tough. Here's the thing. I think Kirk Cousins you're going to have to pay a little bit more for. I think Cam Newton takes a little bit of a pay cut because he knows the opportunity. But ultimately, it comes down to who the head coach is going to be. Let Bill Belichick go to Atlanta. I think Bill is entertaining Cam Newton as a quarterback that he already knows.
Then why didn't Cam Newton stay in New England then if he would entertain him?
He did stay. He ended up just getting cut or left. I don't know what the contract situation was. He didn't get fired, I didn't think.
I didn't retain his
It
services.
shows his last team was the New England Patriots.
Right.
So
I'm just saying they didn't retain his services. So I think that experiment probably didn't
right.
go.
I mean, they
according
had
to plan.
drafted Jones and had Zeppi, and their offense was moving in a different direction, and all of that. So
yeah. I just don't see it. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
The thing that Cousins has for him is he's played more recently,
Right.
and he's more. But now he's coming off of an injury at whatever his age is, 35, 36, whatever his age is.
Yeah,
And he don't do drugs like Aaron.
and that is a little bit of a concern with the injury thing. I think that's the thing that everybody wonders about is what kind of Kirk Cousins are we going to get back, because we haven't seen anything like this throughout his career. But he's got a lot of heart, and he's the kind of guy that continues to come back. I know you love Kirk. I mean, he goes down.
I'm a Kirk fan as
literally
well.
have said I love Kirk.
Nah, I love Gardner Minshew.
And also, when you fired Arthur Smith, did you guys hire an OC yet? Or are you waiting on your head coach kind of thing? So I think it really depends on who that head coach that comes in there is, and we'll go from there. But I think if Bill comes there, I think he's going to give Cam a shot, and especially Cam said, "Hey, this is the team I want to play for." Hey, give him $10 million, approve me contract, see what happens.
That's what I was about to say. Then he said I'll go to the Jets if they pay me $10 million. I'm not going there for any less than this, right?
I will vomit if they
That's a
in Cam Newton.
steal if you get Cam Newton for $10 million a year.
No,
He's not your
that's a waste of
long-term
money.
resolution here, not by any means.
That's crazy.
But he's enough
that's
to allow
backup
you to
money.
find another person that's going to take this organization to where you want to go.
Oh, my sweet Jesus. All right. Now I'm instantly regretting having asked your opinion on this, but no, I'm kidding.
You should sell the farm and just go get Justin Fields, and then you'll be good.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Top 5.
Now, I have one
Royal
last thing I
Rumble.
want to talk about here. Aren't you excited about Rozier coming to the Heat since now he's not going to be able to smoke you every time you play Charlotte Hornets anymore?
Honest opinion?
Yeah.
I had to go Google. I didn't know who he was.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, sure. I mean, he's been in the league, 8, 9, 10 years. He's definitely an upgrade at point guard for us from Lowry. So I was happy to just get rid of Lowry's contract. That's not the point guard I want, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, he's a good player, man, and he's made a living out of torching Miami every time he plays them. When you go back and look at him statistically, so it's going to be if you can't beat him, join him kind of mentality there. But I mean, I think getting rid of Lowry was a huge deal for them. Like that did not.
Yeah, we've been trying to do that since we got him.
I don't that Lowry thing was not that didn't work.
It didn't mesh well.
Not at all.
He didn't fit with Jimmy.
Yeah.
He didn't fit with Bam. He
Can't
couldn't.
fit
Nah,
with
it,
anybody.
it didn't fit. No.
I hope this is just a piece that we're going to grab someone that's better than what we had so that we can try to move them to go get what we actually want. That's what I'm hoping this is.
Yeah, they got to keep pace.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they're not as good as certain teams. But
All right.
I won't bring those teams up.
Two things really quickly. It sounds an awful lot like there's a chance that Trae Young's actually going to end up being. There's a chance now. The talk is that actually Trae Young's the guy that actually could be traded from Atlanta, and it looks like the Lakers are potentially interested there.
That
which
makes sense.
I am about. Like I'm telling you right now. We talked about this enough. Trae Young's always been the problem. He's the common denominator. Him out, keep DeJounte Murray. Or if you're getting rid of both, then make sure you got a bunch of draft capital, blow it up, and do it all over again. But I think Trae needs to go, and you keep Murray, and you build around him. That's my opinion. That's what I think you need to do. But I won't get into that, but I just thought it was interesting that all of a sudden has come out because it was Trae's untouchable. He's the only guy he and Jalen Johnson can't be traded, and then all of a sudden now we're hearing that this is a possibility, and then there may be discussions going on. So maybe ownership's finally got their head together. Who knows? I don't know what happens here. But the one last NBA thing, I did not write this down. The one last NBA thing is that the Bucks fired their head coach.
Yeah, with only 13 losses this year.
Yeah, second in the Eastern Conference with 30 wins.
Yeah.
And you fire your head coach. Now, it's probably because it's going to be Doc Rivers who's going to take the job.
I did see that.
But are you serious?
Yeah, they did Adrian Griffin dirty.
I am a huge believer in karma, by the way. Okay. And I don't want to say I hope because that's just not the type of thing that you say, but there is a very good chance that karma is going to come back and bite them in the ass for this because I've never, I don't understand. How long has he been their head coach?
Not even a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did you fire? Because of Rivers? It wasn't like they were.
No. If we go based off the internet rumors, he wanted to cut Giannis's brother. That's what the internet say. And so I don't know how true it is. If it is true, it's funny and bad.
I just
sad. All of them rolled in one.
Absolutely flabbergasted by this.
I don't know. The Bucks haven't been good with coaches since Jason Kidd.
Right.
Remember they brought in Kidd. He had their success. They got rid of him. Then they brought in somebody else. Then they brought in, was it Budenholzer from y'all?
Mm-hmm.
And they won the chip with him, right?
Yp.
And then
they fired
He
him.
was gone. It's like
Didn't his dad die and they fired him 2 days later? The Bucks really they're feeling themselves quite a bit, aren't they?
they getting rid of too many people. I don't know. The team is not bad. They need another scorer.
Yeah.
They need a wing defender.
Right.
Probably another big.
They got Giannis and Dame, and they need another scorer.
Well, not scorer per se like that, but they needed a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
They need somebody to play energy on the wing. A PJ Tucker they used to play for them.
Yeah.
OG kind of type.
Yeah.
Somebody that's going to play defense and
he's still
going to
get you 15, 16, and he's going to hit some
a scorer
clutch
like
threes.
that. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
They need something like that.
Yeah.
They because after Dame, after Giannis,
Right.
where you going? Brooke
Right.
Lopez?
Right. Yeah, I just thought it was. I couldn't believe it. That was another double take I did today. I was like, that can't be real.
And that just happened not too long ago.
I know,
before we came in.
I know, it wasn't that long ago at all.
That's terrible.
We're gonna get into our top 5 here in about 30 seconds. I want to go around the room really quickly. We didn't really preview it, but I think I kind of have an idea where everybody thinks the games are gonna go in the championship.
Oh, okay.
NFC, AFC. Who wins in the NFC? Lions or Niners? You like the Lions?
Yes.
AFC?
Not Lamar.
So you going Chiefs?
Yeah.
Wow. Chiefs, Lions, Super Bowl. Crispy, what you got?
Got the Lions and the Ravens.
Okay.
We didn't talk about the Ravens. Didn't really show me anything. I mean, the Texans was very young.
Yeah.
And they were in that game. Second half, they lost it.
Second half,
They lost by
weren't.
24.
Well, in the first half, they were in the game. In the second half, they weren't. Yeah. The first half,
They
were
missed
tied.
that field goal.
Yeah, it was 10-10 at the half.
They could have been up 3.
Yeah. I mean, the Texans were outmatched.
Absolutely.
Ravens, Chiefs. This is tough for me. This is tough. Man.
Ravens by at least 2 touchdowns.
Ravens by 2 touchdowns over the Chiefs.
You're giving the Ravens too much credit. I'm sorry.
Dude,
I'm still on that bandwagon. I don't see anything.
That defense, man, that defense is real. That defense, go look statistically, they're doing stuff that has never been done before. They're leading in categories that teams have never put together. It's impressive.
That defense is
Plus Andrews is going to be back.
Did he play in the last game? Because I thought he was going to be back in the divisional.
No.
Okay.
No.
They didn't play him.
I think he's on that. There's that new IR kind of. They're back, but they can practice and be part of the active roster, but they're not technically playing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think there's a part of me that
there's a new.
Yeah, when I'm looking at these and I'm making my picks, there is easily the what I want and what I think will happen. Like I'm in 2 totally different minds with this. So I'm going to go with what I want, and I'm going to go Lions and Chiefs. Now I'm going to go Lions and Chiefs. That's going to be my pick. But what I think will happen is the exact opposite. What I want and what I think will happen are the exact opposite. I think it's going to end up being San Francisco and Baltimore in the Super Bowl.
Based off the scripts, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Good deal. Top 5. Let's do this, folks. Top 5 Royal Rumble matches.
I'm not going. I'm going last.
Why are you going last?
And
Because this is my speciality.
Speciality.
all right.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay.
And I got an NWO shirt on.
Okay. Fine. Crispy, you're first.
True that. All right, number 5. And I don't know why, but I just have these names and years.
Okay.
because of Google.
Let me go and move my mic real quick. 'Cause I know
I have just like 1 or 2 things that I could share of the reasoning why. So number 5, John Cena, 2008 Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Pretty impressive. It was awesome.
You talking about the return?
Yes.
Oh,
There might be a theme here.
he's only going to do return.
All right.
I like this.
Hey, it's pretty good.
2004.
Okay.
1992. Woo! Let's get some Ric Flair action going on in here. I don't know if this was his last Royal Rumble that he got to do or not, but
No.
92 was.
That was when he won the title, though. You
Yep.
got that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
not look at notes. I don't know this.
All right.
Yeah.
Number
You're a
3.
hater.
It's your speciality.
Got, number 3, this guy came back in 2002 off of a quad injury.
Triple H.
Triple H. That's
Shit.
right.
Come on.
You're feeling
now.
yourself right now, aren't you?
I literally watched all of these. I'm up to like 05 at home right now. Yeah, I got to get prepped for Saturday.
All right. Number 2, back-to-back champ.
Which one, Austin or Shawn?
95, 96.
That's Shawn.
Shawn Michaels. And then the best to ever do it, 1998, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 1 for me.
You know what?
Royal Rumble.
His list was not that bad.
Thank you.
He did some research.
It's good stuff.
Well, I had some help.
It's called Google's.
Hey, you know what?
No,
Whatever.
no, not all of it. I did consult with
What's
a
the beeping noise?
fellow wrestler.
I hear a beep.
That's telling us that's his air tag. He's got to get home. He's getting pinged. Yo, where you at?
Just like an old Boost Mobile church. Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good list. I like it. All right.
Preach.
All right. I'll start. Number 5, 2005. Yeah, that was an interesting script because of what happened to Vince McMahon. He tore both of his quads.
How you gonna steal my thing? I had that.
Well, I mean, I was gonna think there was gonna be a chance that we were gonna have some similar ones,
Yeah, I
right?
had that one. I got you.
You
That
know,
was
and
funny.
then of course, Cena and Batista end up going out of the ring when they shouldn't have.
That
so
was not planned.
That was not planned. So they end up having to restart that match. Yeah, I did. I've watched quite a bit of this stuff actually recently. I thought that was actually one of the most entertaining. I kind of wanted to put that one, but I knew better.
The blown quad.
The blown quads tries to go into the ring,
Zuh.
tries to slide into the ring, and both quads hit the.
Did you see when he stood up and fell?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was bad. I mean, and that wasn't scripted. Like he literally tore both of his
They
quads.
looked at him. They was like, "Hey, get up, boss." He
Yep.
was like,
Yep.
I can't.
Yep. Previous, my number 4, the winner and runner-up from the previous Rumble in 2007. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels get things underway in 2008. 2008 is my number 4.
1 and 2.
Yeah. Yep. John Cena returning ahead of schedule as the 30th entrant into that. Cena executed the AA on Triple H to win the Rumble for the very first time in his career. I thought that was.
You know where we're at?
Where was it?
Yeah.
I do not recall.
The Garden.
Oh, that was in the Garden? Okay. Well, I mean, I probably should have guessed when you asked the question.
Garden.
Should have known.
Come on now. You should have known that. The real Garden.
That's fair. That's fair. My number 3 is 2001. This actually goes down as one of the greatest matches of all time. Like this match was absolutely. I mean, this is when Austin becomes the one. Austin wins, and it was the only time. Am I correct about that? Did I get that right?
No, Austin has the record.
He won in 98.
Austin has
Oh,
the
he won
record
3. That's
for-
right.
for having
That's
three.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was his first of the 3, correct?
Which one?
98.
One in no, that was the last of his 3.
Yes.
2001.
No, 2001 was his last one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
it was the second one. The first one he shouldn't have won. He got eliminated, came back in, and threw Brett out.
That's right.
He snuck
that's
back
right.
in.
Yep. Kane entered in this particular one. He entered the match 6th, and then takes out 11 wrestlers, a record that stood for 13 years. Rock, Undertaker, and Steve Austin were at the elite level at that point. Like they were like unbelievable. So, my number 2 is 1992. Ric Flair. Yeah.
That was the first one for the title, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Some argue that that's the greatest Rumble match in WWE history.
of characters, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, greats in that.
Ring presence was pretty high. I mean, I think it's one of the top 2 or 3 ring presences of all time. And my number 1 is 2007, obviously, for obvious reasons. Come on now, if I say for obvious reasons, you obviously know why.
Yeah, that's the Taker year.
Yep. And he beat who?
Who did he throw out that year? I just watched it. Damn it. I don't know who he threw out. It was a young kid at the time. It wasn't Sean. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Who was
it was
last?
Sean.
It was Sean?
Yep.
Yeah, because Sean just went to the Mania the year before. Oh, yeah, because they did like 10 minutes at the end of the...
Yep.
I forgot.
Yeah, they said that was crazy long.
Yeah, they did a whole match.
Yeah, they did.
At the end. Yeah.
Absolutely insane. So yeah, there's my top 5.
All right.
How was that one?
Good.
Was that okay?
That
Was that a
good.
decent top 5?
Y'all did good.
All right, cool.
Y'all Google search
Whose
is
was
really
better, his
good.
or mine?
He's probably gonna give
It's
it to
okay.
you.
You can pick sides.
No, I'm gonna go
You can pick
his
sides.
only because he went with the McMahon torn quads. That was
That's fair.
That's
fair.
He tore both of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Eek.
Yeah, but he didn't put Shawn Michaels on his list, though.
That is true. You know what? You won.
I made sure to put Shawn Michaels in there for you.
You know, Sean was the first one to go from 1 to the whole thing.
I was gonna say I figured you'd go with his because I had the number 1
Yeah,
being
take-
Michael's loss to the Undertaker.
But we all
But it was
knew
a great match.
Sean at the end of his career, he
Right.
was doing those kind of things.
Great match though.
Yeah, I got one for number 5, the forgotten year of 04.
Okay.
You know why we forgot it?
Why?
Because it was a guy, we won't say his name because people get mad when you say his name, who created some things that happened where he eliminated some of his family.
Oh yes,
That
yes,
guy.
yeah. Yep.
But he went from second to ending, and that was the year him and Eddie won at Mania together, had the whole shebang, and it was great. And that was a really good Rumble.
Yeah.
But we forget him.
Yeah.
And
I get it. I get it.
should you separate the art from the artist?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. But it's such a tough story that
Absolutely.
people just want to be like, I can't.
Yeah.
Because the story itself is so rough. Yeah. God, I remember reading about that. That was tough.
Yeah. Then we go. I'm gonna go 98. Not because Austin won, but because Foley came in. All three people. He got eliminated first as Cactus Jack. Came back as Mankind, got eliminated, and then was in the final four as Do Love and got eliminated again. He got eliminated 3 times in the same damn
In the
match.
same match.
But, 3 faces of Foley, 1 match. Then I go, the Cena return is just astronomical, right?
Sure.
I will
Without
go-
hair.
He had a little bit of hair then. The Edge return in 2020.
Okay. Oh, wow.
He was going for 10 years.
It's recent. Yeah.
The broken neck, retired, came back. It was shot. Nobody knew he was coming back at all. And it just popped everybody. So that was great. The first one. You gotta go to the first one. 88 was 1. Hacksaw. Your guy.
Oh,
He won the first one, man. You gotta start with the first one. Without the first one, we don't get all these.
We don't
great
get the
ones,
rest.
right?
Sure. Yeah, it's the original.
where's my honor mention at number 6?
And then, we. You know what? I'm not gonna go 1 because I can't say Sean. We all said Sean. I'm gonna go back in 15.
Okay.
When Rock came out and crowned Roman, and everybody booed him out the building in Philly. And now we have
That's what
Rock
happens in
and
Philly.
Roman
That's
about to be the biggest Mania match unless they do Austin Rock again. So, yeah, that started Roman's evolution of starting at the top.
Yeah.
And then they said, nah, you can't crown him yet. He worked his way to get to where he is now. And now Rock's coming back around to try to get the rub.
Do they wait until we get to Netflix before Rock and Roman do battle?
That's a rumor.
That would make more
That's
sense.
the speculation. But they like to do the big ones. So like 10, 20, it's 40 now.
Yeah.
They like to do those with a big match.
Sure.
But if you wait the year, let Rock get in some ring shape, because they got this Cody thing right now where Cody lost last year. He can't lose again. He can win. And then, you got another face out there.
Yep.
They might wait until the Netflix deal and then let Rock Roman go 41 and start their year-long feud to where you can bring more family members in. Heyman on the mic, Roman on the mic, Rock on the mic. Like, that's going to be big.
Like, if that doesn't happen, I'm still going to watch. But if that happens when Netflix gets a hold of this, like if that's the direction they go, that's going to be huge. I will be glued to
250 something million subscribers now. It's going to be about 400 million subscribers.
Insane.
You just put Dwayne there, that's going to get you something.
Yeah. Awesome. Good top 5. I enjoyed that. What are we doing for top 5 next week? We had not discussed that yet. That's on me.
Let's go with, I've been thinking a lot about this.
Uh-oh.
Stand by.
Let me move the mic again.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord.
JK, I haven't. I just thought about it because my belly's rumbling. And we talked about it a little bit earlier. How about top 5 favorite restaurants?
Restaurants. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I like
All right,
that.
give me y'all's rules.
Are we going chains or are we going
There we go.
regular restaurants?
I don't think it
About
matters.
something that people know.
I think
You can
that's
go
something.
fast food. You can go sit down, expensive, cheap. It's your top 5. Whatever 5 places you want to eat or you like to eat at.
Or you've been that. Yeah. I mean, that's 100%.
All right.
I don't think you have to go chains, right?
I got Ryan's.
Oh, God.
Spinks is probably going to be on my list.
Spinks with some chicken, man.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Spake's got some
Bro.
good food, man. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I got Spinks right here by the Casa, man. That place gets my money every freaking day.
Oh my. Does it really?
Yes.
Oh, so you leave early
Somehow.
enough so you can stop by and get breakfast?
Early? I live in a small town.
No, I'm just saying, like is it breakfast that you get?
Oh, it could be. It could be breakfast. It could be lunch.
He does not care.
Snack.
But at least you're getting
be
something from
gas.
them every day, right?
Yeah.
He's getting boiled peanuts from them.
You know who else actually
Get
has?
everything.
You know who else? And they have one of these near my house. But who else has actually
Spinks
got some
Pass.
really good stuff? Is good food is actually Parker's. Parker's has got really good chicken too.
Never
man.
been.
Oh gosh,
Parker's is like an upscale Spinks. That's it.
Parker's is nice, man.
Oh, so we have you guys got QTs down there?
No, not down
That's
all the way
our
down here yet. I think that starts in Columbia.
That's our that's our upgraded Spinks. It's
Yeah, yeah.
QT.
QTs are.
top
I mean, that's
notch.
a freaking restaurant. That's a monster.
They
Some of
have
these
better
QTs are
food.
We need a
huge.
Wawa down here.
No, we need which we are getting one up here on the
I don't know what that
northern
I
part
can't
of
see it.
South
Is that
Carolina.
Buc-ee's?
This is Busey's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
was-
You ever been to a Busey's?
I thought that was Bucky's.
It is Buc-ee's.
No,
Some
is it really Bucky's?
It is Buc-ee's. Yeah.
Oh, I never heard
Yes,
of it.
it's
yeah.
Buc-ee's. Some people call it Busey's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buc-ee's
Just
is
matters
nuts.
what part of the South you from.
Wow.
Was that a Southern accent?
I don't know what that was. It was
Okay,
disturbing.
all right.
It bothered me a little bit.
Busey's.
All right.
Busey's.
You know what? I'm going to
right.
Ryan's.
I think I think that ends this conversation. But next week it's going to be top 5 favorite restaurants.
Shoney's.
Cracker Barrel.
Oh no! Whoa! Whoa! I'm not welcome to Cracker Barrel. Okay?
Oh, you're not?
No. I feel like when I walk in the door, it says, it's a N word that says when I open that door.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I feel my ancestors in that place.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good Lord.
You walk in the floorboards, go.
All right. You're fine. Okay. End of that conversation. You're out of control, per usual. I have to get one of these every show. So I guess that's just something I'm accustomed to at this point.
It's Cracker Barrel.
Okay. I get it. I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
It's a rocking chair out front.
So what? I have a rocking chair at my house.
I do too on my patio.
All right,
I
then.
got
They're
two of them.
wonderful, man. Those things are
But
great.
they're wicker rocking chairs. They're not just like, hey, boy.
All right.
Come
That's
on
it.
in.
Okay. We're done. All right. That's it. That's all I got. That's all we got. We're done. Episode 17 is in the books. If you didn't get a chance to check us out live, you can catch us on YouTube at any point. We'll have this uploaded soon. And, of course, on all the podcast platforms you can possibly find out there, including Apple Podcasts, including Amazon, including Spotify, Google. No more Google? Is it? Oh.
Yeah, Google Podcast about to be peace out.
But you can still get it now.
How about you get on a damn mic? Damn.
You can go ahead and transfer your Google Podcast account to a YouTube podcast and subscribe at the same time at BallzOut Sports on YouTube.
That's right.
See, that should be your job. You should be just run down the socials and all of that stuff because you ain't do nothing for.
I don't get paid enough for that.
Ooh.
Got him.
Where's HR?
It's right there. That's HR right there. Crispy's our HR guy.
Yeah, go ahead and send your information to idon'tcare.com.
All right. So speaking of socials, would you do the honors?
At BallzOut, BALL with a Z out sports. I'm on all of them: Amazon, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Twitter /X, XXX, OnlyFans. What's the other one that I got? Oh, probably a Snapchat, but that's for nasty stuff.
It's a different show.
Then you can follow me at Shalashashka51, SHALASHASKA51. I know I spelled it out. It's really good. Go there, follow me. I
It's really
post
good.
all day, all
do.
day and night. Begin some engagement going on. That's Jonas. I don't know his. It's Jonas Daniel
You talking
Mount.
about my personal?
Yeah, Jonas
Yeah,
Daniel
Jonas
Mount.
Daniel Mount. Yeah.
Jonas Daniel Mount. Follow him at the Jonas Mount Golf.
Yeah.
See, look, I'll be following all of it.
Yep.
I don't know his because his don't pop up all the time. It's SCG dot something. He don't even know it because he don't be on it. Follow him at Crispy Craft 013.
Nope, I don't have any.
I swear I tag him all the time. But, that's another story. Where's HR?
He doesn't want to tell anybody about his.
Yeah, it's top secret.
It's top secret.
I guess.
Yeah.
He got like 14 followers.
It's not that top secret.
There you go. And that's all family.
It's like personal, man. That's all everybody in his house.
There's 3 of you in the room, so there's 4. So yeah, we got 10 family members left.
Yeah.
Well, just follow me then. I add you.
There you go.
I add you all.
Hey, people can follow me. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
cool.
no, you can follow me. Definitely follow me because I'm trying to get paid. Follow me. I post women. I post funny things. I post good stuff. I post nice looking women.
And he tags me in every one of them all the time.
I definitely do. They're really nice on the eyes. The Royal Rumbles on Saturday. I'll be watching. If you want to, I might go live. You never know. You want to watch it with me? Let's watch it together.
That's this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Nice.
Please subscribe so they can afford to pay me.
We should have never gave him a mic.
Yeah, that was
I'm going to
your
payroll
fault.
deduct you for that comment.
Yeah, check us out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. That's we appreciate the subscriptions. We've gotten a few more over the last week or so, and Vibes had to throw his restaurant in there already. Even though we are going to do this next week, so you have to chime in then. But he threw in Waffle House. Yeah,
No, Waffle House.
I was thinking
downhill.
about
I told you that.
what?
I'm done with Waffle House.
Oh no, I still love me some Waffle House, man.
I don't like when my waiter and my chef just came outside from smoking 4 cigarettes, and they came in, had a fight when he walked in.
They're the best.
Then brought me my food and brought it incorrectly.
There's
I ain't
nothing.
got time.
There's nothing better than that at 2 a.m.
What do they write on the thing? First of all, they just be writing, and it's a different price.
All right,
every single
you know
time
what?
I
We're
go
going to
in.
get into the Waffle House discussion next week. I am Jonas Mount. That is Crispy from Greenville, South Carolina. We've got Ala here to my left as well. And for those of you listening, watching, we appreciate you. Subscribe. Do it. Get onto YouTube. If you haven't, you're listening. You don't need to be listening and watching if you're not subscribed. It doesn't make much sense to me. So I'm out of here. Jonas Mount, Christian, we appreciate you. We will see you all next week. We'll give you a heads up what day we're going to be dropping, but 17 shows in, and God knows how many more to go. So should be a lot of fun.
South Carolina men's team just won again. So shout out to South Carolina men's team.
Basketball, by
Yeah.
the way, just in case y'all were wondering.
Go Cox.
Go Cox. Oh, okay. Pause. All right. So for Crispy in Greenville, for Allah, Christian, I am Jonas Mount. We'll see y'all next time.
Suck it, jabronis.
Stay hydrated.